What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Tiege Hanley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Tiege Hanley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people, and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on? It's Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with us. Thank y'all for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? How about those Pistons? How about those Pistons? What's up, family? How y'all feel? It's cold outside. It's cold outside. It was snowing a little bit yesterday. I could see some of the snow on the buildings and stuff like that. What up, family? How y'all feel? Yeah, really enjoyed the show on Saturday. Showed us how black men of America. Oh my God. We're gonna have to do better. We're going to have to do better. I've been removing, let me go to my email real quick. I've been removing in mass. I had to file probably no less than 150 copyrights today. Literally, no less than 150 copyright requests today. It's insane, bro. Now, I'm not a person that files copyright requests at all, but in this case, I had no choice. I had to get multiple different channels taken down today. And let me tell you why. I'm going to give you an example. So let me share my screen with you guys really quickly. No, this one is valid. This is valid. So, for example, you got this channel right here called Whispered Truths, right? So what they've done is they've literally lifted my videos and then they post it to their platform and they post a screenshot of me and then they think that them changing the background.
After so many failed votes,
they change my background and then they post my video. And that's how they moving now. And I found multiple different channels doing this same thing. So now they only got 20 videos left. By the end of the day, it'll be 0. And you'll see several different pages. You'll see several different pages taken down. All right. This one, I found it this morning. My people told me about it. It was called Culture Unfiltered. That has now been removed. And then I've had to file multiple different copyright infringements. And you can see there's just, it's massive. It's a ton of them. So I put my people on it and they, we getting them removed. So all of these different channels that's lifting 100% of my videos, they not reacting to them. They just stealing. They stealing and then they making sure. So let me share this tab. So for example, I've just had to just do this video after video after video after video after video after video after video, video after video. They just stealing. So I just So we tackling it. That's why I had to start the show a little bit later today because we just tackling everything. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why people feel as though that's gonna work. As soon as I figure it out, as soon as we figure it out, I'm gonna come for it. You know what I'm saying? You can't just create a channel and act like you're me and don't think that I'm not gonna address it. I work very, very hard every single day to make sure that I give y'all the best content possible. And so, for the people that feel as though they can just come in and just lift your stuff, put your face on it, and just make a channel and pretend like it's you, nah, we not on that. Now, to YouTube's credit, I have to give credit where credit is due. YouTube immediately get on top of this. But they used to be a little bit slower, but they resolving stuff faster than I can ever imagine. So you could see, for example, request submitted November 10th right here, and they get that junk up out of there immediately. So they get it all resolved. They get it all resolved, and they get them channels up out of there. But the fact of the matter is, people are straight up thieves, bro. People are straight up thieves. It's crazy. And you know what the worst part about it? I actually seen people commenting on the videos like it was actually me. And people was on some like, man, that's crazy. I'm like, what? It's bad enough. It's bad enough that people steal your stuff, and it's 1,000 different TikTok accounts. It don't matter. TikTok is broke. TikTok ain't even paying people like that no more. All of the TikTokers, people that thought that they was gonna get a bag off TikTok, it don't even matter no more. TikTok is tearing y'all out the frame. I told y'all you can't shortcut your way to success. You gotta hustle. I'm gonna go after them too. They're not as important because it ain't as much money on TikTok. But really, I don't even trip about people creating accounts of me on TikTok as much. Posting my videos. I don't trip as much. The part that I hate about TikTok is and Instagram and Facebook is when people try to pretend like they you when they try to act like they got an investment club. Can't tell you how many emails I got of people. Y'all got to stop falling for the finesse. Only channels I got is the channels that y'all know of. I don't have no alternative TikTok accounts. I don't have no alternative Instagram accounts. So if they reach out to y'all and they pretend like they me on WhatsApp or something and say, hey man, you want to do an investment club? Bruh, if you have not talked to me personally, I don't do business like that. I do business through my email, antondaniels413@gmail.com. All right. That's it. Y'all can't be getting finesse. You can't get this. Y'all tell me y'all not this easily finessed. Tell me you're not this easily finessed. It's the clipping culture we are now in a day we are in nowadays. Yeah, but that's not gonna last. And so it's easier to just build your brand and build yourself up and go and get a bag, man. Hey D, so that wasn't you who hit me up because you were in a jail in Africa? Oh, I don't reach out to people on social media. I don't. I'm telling you right now, I never reach out to people on social media. I never reach out to people on social media. All right. You said it's probably sending super chats and all. Well, no, not really. Let me tell you why. Because I'm getting these channels up out of here before they even get monetized. So as soon as I found it, people hit me up. I had a group chat from my people. They hit me up and they said, Anton, you got another? No, I don't have another channel. Okay, we're gonna get that up out of there. So that's up out of there. So y'all can waste your time if y'all want to. Did you digital night? Seriously? Come on, man. Y'all can't be this gullible. Y'all can't be this gullible. I got 4 official channels. Y'all know what those are. The Millionaire Morning Show, Anton Daniels channel, Room 9, and Darth Anton. That's it. That's it. So I'm going to address it. 50-year mortgages. I'm going to talk about all of it today. It's Monday, November 10th. We're going to get it popping. All right. Monday, November 10th. Let's get it popping. Let me do a little bit of housekeeping. So I got a Pistons game tonight. I got a Patreon live stream. And let me tell y'all something else. This is the reason why I'm skeptical about, because I want to release the Brian McKnight interview on Wednesday, but I want to do an early preview for Patreon members. But now, honestly, the Patreon is too big and people don't know how to keep their mouth shut. And it's very difficult, bro. It's very difficult to give people something because then they want to it's supposed to be exclusively for Patreon members. People are already trying to do reaction videos and I ain't even did nothing to it yet. That little clip, let me tell y'all something. The little clip that I showed y'all on this channel, do you know that people was ready to clip that up already? I had people hit me up like, hey, you did interview. I had to get that shit up off out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on. We got to do better, bro. We got to do better, bro. We got to do better. So, we are Patreon live streaming Tuesday night. Housekeeping. All right, before we get into the show. Patreon live streaming Tuesday night. And shout out to everybody that's in here in the chat. Patreon live streaming Tuesday night. Tonight I got a Pistons game, but we are doing the Q show. Tuesday, we also doing a live stream on After Hours on Room 9. Wednesday, normal day, but I plan on dropping a Brian McKnight interview on Wednesday. All right, so that's the goal, is to drop it on Wednesday. I also have a flight Wednesday night, so I'm going to be watching it on the flight with you guys. I got a 12-hour flight to head over to Croatia, but I'm going to get some good rest. And then after I wake up, we doing the Millionaire Morning Show. Right after I get checked into my hotel when I land, we doing the Millionaire Morning Show. So the Millionaire Morning, everything is going to be going as usual unless I change it throughout the week. But until further notice, we going to be doing the same thing, same live streams, Millionaire Morning Show. Everything is going to go as usual. So don't expect anything different, all right? We still going to do the same thing. We don't change. We're going to get it popping. All right. Just a little bit of housekeeping. So make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Let me tell you the subjects that we covering on Patreon, because we're going to literally structure this thing. We got a lot to cover. So we're going to do a stock club on Patreon. And the stock club is going to consist of, we're going to do a recap for the new people, the 8 things we look for when we looking to invest in a company. We're going to talk about the hospitality industry. We're going to go over Tesla's new Elon Musk new $1 trillion package, and if we should basically hedge most of what we're doing on Tesla. And we're going to go over AI. We're going to go over all of our AI plays. All right. So if you are a part of the Patreon, if you are a part of Stock Club, if you are dollar cost averaging, no man left behind. I'm going to get y'all up to speed on what we got going on in the beginning. And then we're going to deep dive into those 3 subjects tomorrow night. All right. And then Brian McKnight interview, regular live streams, everything is going to go as normal. All right. So need a quarterly smoke show. I don't really have smoke for people. I don't have smoke for people, man. Honestly. I don't have no hate in my heart. I don't have no angry. I'm not tripping. I don't trip over if somebody say anything about me or some of that. Honestly, I genuinely just don't. I ain't tripping about it at all. I ain't tripping about nothing. All I'm about is winning, man. I just want to win in every single category in life. That's my goal, is just to win. I want good for people. I want everybody to do well. I ain't on no smoke whatsoever, bro. At all. So I got a different level of motion. You know what I'm saying? I got a different objective and goal on how I want to approach life going forward. All right, let's go ahead and get into this show today. So we got a lot to cover, especially with regard to the shut. We got layoffs, we got shutdowns, we got a lot of things going on. So let me go ahead and get into some of this. And I'm leaving it open to pivot. All right, I'm leaving it open to pivot. History. I just can't imagine like how many people is just finessing, bro. It's crazy. I'm gonna do one reaction also. All right. All right, let's get to it. First things first, shutdown is over. I was praying that the shutdown would be over by the time that I got ready to by the time that I got ready for my flight and stuff like that. So I'm excited that the shutdown is over. Let's get into it, Joe.
Let's begin with Madeline Rivera live from Washington with the latest on when we can expect this shutdown to officially end. Maddie, good morning.
Good morning, Todd. Well, the vote the Senate took overnight is the first step in a series of procedural maneuvers. And of course, the House will have to vote on the package, too. So it will take a few more days before the government reopens. But Sunday's vote was the first clear sign that a bipartisan deal had been reached after a roughly 40-day stalemate. The Senate voted 60-40 to back a revamped GOP funding bill that would keep the government open until the end of January. 8 Democrats joined Republicans to pass the bill, including Senate Minority Whip Dick Durbin, Senators Tim Kaine, Catherine Cortez Masto, and Jackie Rosen, among others.
This is the beginning to show and fight for Americans across the country. Let me just say this, with the government open, we can focus on passing a full bipartisan budget for 2026.
I understand that not all of my Democratic colleagues are satisfied with this agreement, but waiting another week or another month wouldn't deliver a better outcome. So let me be clear. No one in the Senate chamber wants to extend the ACA tax credits more than I do.
I joined this group to make sure that we could get important protections for federal employees. And what we have in this bill is the restoration of all the furloughed employees and a guarantee of their back pay.
So despite them touting what they did get, these Dems are facing criticism from their party because the package does not include a deal on Obamacare subsidies. It only includes a guarantee on a vote for the tax credits, far from what progressives and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer had pushed for.
Tonight, 8 Democrats voted with the Republicans to allow them to go forward on this continuing resolution. And to my mind, this was a very, very bad vote. We got a lot of work to do, but to be honest with you, tonight was not a good night.
Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna is already targeting Schumer, saying Senator Schumer is no longer effective and should be replaced. If you can't lead the fight to stop health care premiums from skyrocketing for Americans, what will you fight for? Moving forward, senators need to reach a time agreement before holding a final vote on the package. Then it will only need a simple majority to pass the upper chamber. Todd.
Miles to go before we sleep. Maddie, thank you. With that, let us bring in former advisor to Donald Trump, Jason Miller. And Jason, you heard in Maddie's report the Democrats touting all of the things that they got. But to me, they didn't really get anything. All they got was a promise to hold a vote on Obamacare subsidies. So, Jason, what was the point of all this?
Well, exactly. There was no point. This entire shutdown was unnecessary. It was unneeded. And the only reason why it happened is because Senator Chuck Schumer and other Senate Democrats are scared to death.
Let me tell you what I think really happened. I can't prove this, but this is what I believe really happened. I believe that Chuck Schumer actually wanted to open up the government, and he didn't really want to keep it closed at all. That's what I believe. And I also believe that what he did do was probably use one of the other Democrats, one of the 8 other Democrats, to make it seem like he held frame, but he used them to open up the government so that he can then come back and say, well, listen, I held fast, but, other people turned, and so that's what really happened. I believe that Chuck, because Chuck been working with Trump, he helped make sure that the big, beautiful bill got passed and all of that stuff. I believe that Chuck and a lot of other Democrats actually wanted to open up the government. But here's the fact of the matter. We now have our air traffic controllers getting paid. We also have our TSA members getting paid. I believe that our furloughed employees are back at work. And everybody was crashing out and everybody was feeling some way. We had people that were getting evicted because they couldn't pay their rent and landlords was not giving no extension. And what we also seen during the shutdown is the fact that most people are dependent on the government. That's just the facts. Most people are dependent on the government for their paycheck, which this shouldn't be. And this is what we keep trying to tell people. This system is broken. We should not have this many people working for the federal government. We should not have this many people on food stamps. We should not have this many people on SNAP benefits. We should not have this many people depending on this structure, this infrastructure, this big thing that we just continue to blow up. And this is why we have such a heavy debt. This is just this truth. We are so over bloated in leverage when it comes to depending on the federal government. From jobs to feeding ourselves, our basic necessities, we have now tethered ourselves. And this ain't just one community. This is the entire United States of America. We have tethered ourselves to the federal government. And all of my strong independent ladies, I dropped a clip. Of and let me see if I can find it. I dropped a clip of, basically of the women that was door dashing last week when I was talking about all of the ladies that was door dashing. You would not believe the amount of people that was trying to get mad at me, saying that I'm out of the loop, that, Anton, you don't know. Oh man, I can't believe it. You're so far removed, all of this other stuff. Anton, I can't believe it. Man, that's our ladies. They doing what they got to do. Is better than no money. DoorDash is help paying the bills and all of this stuff. Let me show y'all the comments. It was amazing. It was amazing the amount of comments that I was getting of people that was saying that I'm off, I'm out of touch. And obviously I know that they don't watch, the whole show, but there's an audience for everybody. So this is the DoorDash one that I was talking about. See, look, shout out to the women that's working, period, Pooh. There's other ways to make easy money, but these ladies chose to work a legit job. Bless them, Lord. Nothing wrong with DoorDash or Uber Eats. If you don't work, you don't eat. It's honest work. Get your bag. Honest work is always okay. I drove for DoorDash, Uber, Walmart, Spark for 4 years. No hate for anyone that works to earn an honest living. I did DoorDash when I was unemployed. Anton be out of touch sometimes. People have been working for these re-ass companies for years. It don't matter, men and women. Make $150K as an engineer and still doing DoorDash on my Christmas break when I wanted to get out the house and be outside. You never know. I can't rock with you, AD, on this one. Never bash honest work, DoorDash, Uber. I think y'all missed the plot. I think people truly missed the plot. What was the plot? What is the plot? What was I saying? Why did I bring this up? Why did I bring this up? Courtney Smith said I was speaking facts. Why did I bring that up? Did I bring that up to a down and honest day's work? Nobody is more transparent about the fact that I'll always go and do some hustling. I'll always go get a bag. I'm the person that, and you see how people switching up, right? When I said that I was going to take an offer that I couldn't refuse to get a regular job after I retired in 2019, they said that I was crazy. Now they switching up and they're saying, Anton, you're out of touch. When did I be? Okay, what part of my life did I get out of touch? What part of my life did I get out of touch? I'm not out of touch. I'm a hustler. I work from sun up to sundown. I went to bed at 1:30 in the morning on a Sunday night, and I was back up at 4 o'clock, 4:30 today. And I've been hustling the entire time. And I don't miss. And I don't miss. I work my ass off all day, every day. And then I may take a 2 or 3 hour break to go to a Pistons game or to take a nap, but I hustle. So let me clarify what this really means. Okay. Because see, now everybody acting like they don't get it. There's a difference between men and women. And I don't believe that women should be in a space, and this is the result of our cultural norms, that women should not be out here unsafe going to a fucking stranger's house, having to do that to feed herself. I am not going to advocate something that I wouldn't do myself. And because I would not let my wife or my daughter do it, I would not. I don't like seeing our black women beat down. Them chicks that was in there hustling, they look tired. It was unsafe. They going into dangerous neighborhoods that men usually hustle. That's not something that I'm used to seeing women do. That was the point of the conversation. It's look what you did to yourself. Look at the situation that you put yourself in. Look at now how we are as a culture because you didn't want to sit down and play your role and play your position. And now we're fighting against what you think makes sense for you to survive. And all women don't have to do that because I would not like to see you do it because I don't want to see my daughter doing it. That's the whole point of the conversation. Is I don't want to see women doing shit that men do. Is it okay for women to work? Sure. But there are certain jobs that should be designated for women, and women shouldn't be in these streets. I can't stand when I see a chick pulling up and her kids is in the back and the man is driving and she delivering my DoorDash. That hurt my heart. That hurt my heart. I don't want to see that. So that was the whole point. But that's what this whole shutdown is proving, is that everybody ain't what you think it is. And this and all of this stuff that y'all advocated for, it's not benefiting you. It didn't work out on your behalf. And that's why people tend to vote blue, because now they're voting based off of hope. They're not voting based off of logic. They're not voting based off of cultural norms. They're not voting based off of reason. I'll do you another one. Most of the women I know don't give a fuck about voting. You know why? Because they leave it up to the men that take care of it. Most of the women that I know care nothing. Zero, zilch, nada. They don't even want to know what's going on. All they want is direction, and then they just want to sleep, nap, cook, travel, have a good time, and take care of the kids and take the kids to soccer practice. That's all they care about. They don't care about all of this. And the ones that are suffering the most, you can see it on them. You can see it in their body. Men are supposed to be beat up, kind of, sort of. We supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? We stand up longer. Our bodies are built to endure more. We're supposed to suffer. That is where our greatness comes from. That is what, that's what the hustle is for. I don't even look at it as suffering. I look at it as growing to get to the next level. Women be towed down. They be beat up. They sciatic nerve is hurting. Back is toe up. Can't walk up and down the stairs half the time. postpartum, all of that. You know why y'all got so much shit going on in y'all lives? Is because you're compounding it with stuff that ain't supposed to be done for your bodies. You ain't supposed to be dealing with the same things that I'm dealing with. You ain't supposed to be up the way that I'm up. What you talking about? You're broken. You're broken. You're broken. And so everybody missed the plot. Everybody missed the plot. We used to come from a time where if a guy wanted a woman, he first had to have a house set up for her to come into. That's what we historically, women chose men based off of whether or not they would be able to survive and thrive. That was it. Now we all equal. Now we genderless. Now we genderless. You hustling. You working 40, 50, 60, 70 hours. Fuck. Government shutdown, y'all. It's over though. Now you back to work.
The extremist wing of their party, the AOCs, and they're worried they're going to get primary challenges. I really think that there's going to be a reckoning here, both from Americans, travelers who are stranded at airports or had flights canceled, members of the military who had to stand in line for food banks because
Aaron
they didn't have
says that's cap. Well, that's because you don't believe in the Bible. It's because you don't believe in scripture. See, listen, I'm going to just keep it 100 with y'all. I'm going to keep it so real with y'all. If you see a guy, because for whatever reason, y'all think that y'all going to get the most feminine, the most baddest, the nicest, the women that just is always treating you awesome, and she's supposed to go to work for 50, 60 hours, and she's supposed to raise your ugly fucking kids. Listen, bro. The reality is this. That's a younger man's and a younger woman's game when y'all just getting into it. If you above the age of 40, stop asking somebody to build with you. If you above the age of 40, stop asking somebody to believe in you and build in you. You have 40 years on this earth. Stop. I mean, I know we hold women accountable all the time for their choices, but goddamn, what the fuck y'all want from them? Y'all want them to work 60 hours and take care of your kids and have a kid by you? What the fuck else you want? You always ask me, man, you got a unicorn in the way that in the way that she act. Well, why do you think that she act that way? Because she ain't got the same worries and the cares that girl got over there. She don't deal with the same shit that y'all deal with. And I would have been on y'all side had Saturday not happened. Saturday taught me that we dealing with a different type of man out here. Saturday told me, listen. Nope, don't get mad at me. Get mad at the Saturday show. Saturday told me that niggas just be out here just fucking around and playing video games. What you want? What do you want?
Money coming in because of what the Senate Democrats did. And also, I think there'll be a reckoning, as we saw from Ro Khanna saying this about Senator Schumer, from the extremist left within the Democrat base saying, Chuck Schumer, why did you cave? So this was completely unnecessary. It was unneeded all along. Senator John Thune said, just simply pass the continuing resolution, open government, then we can talk about health care. But instead, Chuck Schumer decided to hold everybody hostage.
Again, the exact same continuing resolution that everybody voted for back in March. Nothing changed except for the primaries from the left that you just mentioned. For the rest of this week, Senate Democrats can really do this the easy way, or they can do this the hard way. They can fast track the process to get this to the House quickly, or they can force it to just drag on all week long. Which path do you think the Democrats in the Senate will choose?
I think even though many of the Senate Democrats will echo the thoughts of Bernie Sanders saying that they didn't like this vote, I think the reality is that the vast majority, the biggest group of Senate Democrats are glad that some of their colleagues caved because this is what everybody wanted. There was no one at home who was saying, senators, thank you for keeping the government shut down. This was massive chaos. We saw what it did to the markets. We saw from Secretary Bessent saying the impact that this has had on the economy and America.
So long story short, Democrats basically did the same thing that Trump said that they were supposed to do in the beginning. And he said, keep the government open, and then we're going to negotiate on what y'all get from a healthcare perspective so we can subsidize y'all stupid states. They came back and they did the same thing, and all they got was a promise to do exactly what Trump said that they was going to do. So first of all, Republicans are winning en masse. Then T-Mac comes and he says, hey, you can't blame us for the effed up guy. Never heard a man say he refused to work until that Saturday. Listen, bro, listen. We have a cultural problem. We do. We do. And I fear that the same thing that happened with feminists are the same thing that are happening with men today. And I just have to be honest. And I'm going to call it like I see it. I fear that the same thing that happened with feminists are the same thing that's happening with men today. We're overcorrecting. And we think that just because we hold women accountable, that somehow the lessons or the requirements for what you're supposed to do as a man no longer applies. So she just supposed, yes, she is stupid. Yes, she out here fucking around and not doing what she's supposed to do. And yep, we got to make sure that we get women in line and make them accountable for the decisions that they make. But why you so poor, nigga? Why you so poor? Her getting her life together has nothing to do with whether or not you supposed to be the man that you're supposed to be. And why do we have these outsized expectations for what women are supposed to do and we not what we supposed to be as men? That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. How did we get to the point to where we couldn't do two things at the same time? We couldn't hold women accountable for the outsized things that they supposed to do, but then at the same time, we not supposed to be the men that we supposed to be. So you just gonna have, bro, if you love her, why do you want her suffering? If you love your chick, because see, if you just bringing a chick in because you don't really give a fuck about her and you're just trying to use her for her domestic duties, then you're just a piece of shit person, right? But if you actually care about the person enough to marry them and give them your last name, why do you want them suffering in the same way that all of the rest of these chicks are suffering? Why would I want my chick to have to struggle if anything was to happen to me? Why would I want them to have to depend on another man in the event that anything was to ever happen to me? Why would I want her to go out here and to work the exact same? I'm not saying that she can't work. Yeah, it's cool work, but don't work the way that I work. I work different. I'm built different. I wake up earlier than you and I go to sleep after you. The fuck is we talking about? So you want her to have kids and go to work? The goal should be, now, if you are a couple that don't have no kids, then yes, she should be purposeful. But a woman's purpose, and I'm very upset that I even have to have this conversation right now. A woman's purpose should be absolutely different from men. Nigga, we ain't got nothing better to do but to work. What else we got to do? What else? Hold on. What else is there to do? What else is there to do outside of working? Y'all want all of the best chicks. What the fuck you think that the best chicks? Hold on, listen. What you think that the top women is waiting on? You think they waiting on you, nigga? You think, hold on. Because see, even guys that hold women accountable, even Kevin Samuels understood the play. Kevin was harder on men than they were. It was no excuse to absolve men of what they were supposed to do just because you was holding women accountable for what it is that you required. What else is there to do except for get money, nigga? I ain't got nothing better to do. but get money. That's all we got to do is to get money, because it's a tool that then allows for our daughters and our sons to go to better schools. It's a tool so that you will stop complaining about rent. We ain't got no skill sets. Let's just be for real. Come on, man. Well, fuck it. Let's get into it. We ain't got no skill sets. We don't have no goddamn degrees and nothing that's meaningful and purposeful. And let's be clear. If this don't apply, let it fly. If you winning, then you shouldn't be offended. We don't have nothing to fall back on. You know what I'm saying? Like we just winging it every fucking day. Every day. I'll be damned if the mother of my child is out here on a TikTok making an Instagram video about how she broke and how she got to figure out how to get her government assistance. I would be damned. If I hated her guts, I wouldn't let her suffer like that. If I hated her guts, if that's the case, then stop trying to act like you want a wife. Just be out here winging it, nigga. Don't bring somebody into something that you wouldn't want your daughter in. Don't bring somebody into something. Y'all keep talking about y'all looking for. You looking for a who? Now, if you're looking for a hoe, that's one thing. If you're looking for a wife, you talking to a whole nother ball game. We in a whole nother league, babe. We in a whole nother league. You can't bring no wife into a situation that's fucked up, talking about, I want to fuck on you. Well, fuck on you on what? On your air mattress, nigga? Now, if y'all get married and y'all figuring it out and you go through something, that's a whole nother thing. And I want to make sure that I add the context into every situation. You go through stuff, that's life. But you bring somebody into a fucked up situation, that's evil. That's evil. What you want me to do? What you want her to do? You want her to bust it down for a real one? You want her to keep sucking your dick in the car? Y'all can't go into a warm place in order for you to get some head? You want head, but you don't want to provide a warm place. Everybody got to have bubble coats on while you getting head. Keep on going to the drive-in every day. What? She can't even really fully get herself together and thrive the way that she wants to. She can't. You trying to figure out why she throw it back for a real one, not for that other one. And this ain't no crash out. This is the truth. This is the thing that your pastor is scared to tell you. This is the divide. This is the divide, okay? If you want a wife, which is a person that you give your last name to, she becomes a representation of you. She becomes she's an extension of you. You are joined together as one. You cannot have her out here looking bad and dusty. That is a very basic. This is not, I'm not saying anything that is controversial here. That is a basic requirement. Give her a reason to do something. How can you tell her what to do? Hey, what, you got my sandwich ready? I'll give you, let me tell you something. When you really doing it, you don't have to ask. They will come to you. You hungry? You ate today? Oh my God, I got to make sure that you're good. You know what? Do you know why great women make sure that they get your doctor's appointments and they stay on you and they cook for you? Do you know why they do that? They do that because they realize that you're too valuable to lose. They want to make sure that you're here as long as possible because they can't imagine having to deal with this bullshit without you. That is why they do that. They do it because you're too valuable as an asset for them to lose. They will fight anybody and everybody for you. They don't want anybody to lose. No, listen, I made your doctor's appointment. I took care of this. I pour into you. What do you, oh, baby, come here. Throw it back for a real one because they want to make sure that you're good. They want to make sure you sleep good at night. That's what the difference is. Now, again, if you're young, you're 21, 22, 23 years old, and this is the path that you, because I'm not telling everybody that they have to get married. What I am telling you is that if this is the path that you decide to take, you have to understand that. And let me add another caveat in here. Stop having fucking kids out of wedlock. Stop having kids, bro. And understand that if you're going to have that kid, listen, I'm here. For the next 25, 30 years, not 18, not 17, not 16, I'm here. Be sure. Because that's a 30-year play right there. You are making an investment into the earth when you have a child. It's not about you. It's not about your last name. It's about the legacy that they leave and they impact the earth, because you have to be accountable and you're responsible for it. You don't just get to play when they make it into the NBA. You get the credit when they go to jail too. Strike on the record. I believe, listen, hopefully God see it the way that I see it. Or maybe he gives a little bit more grace. Because if I'm God, if I'm Peter with the list and I go based off of what Jesus and God is saying, I'm striking niggas down straight off of how they kids are. Hey, your kid fucked up? Oh, okay, we'll skip it. Strike, strike, strike. Because that's a choice that you made to bring a kid into this earth that became a serial killer, that became a dope boy, all of that. I would be knocking people down off of the stuff that they kids do. You got a fucked up lineage, strike on the record, nigga. Go straight to hell. Don't pass, don't collect $200, go down there. We have to have some basic common decency, some basic common logic. Stop looking for people to do stuff that you won't do for yourself. Keep on complaining and having these problems and, oh man, she not holding me down. Well, I've been in the projects for 40 years. We should have basic standards and minimums. 20, grace. 30, pick it up, nigga. 40, you got to be there. 50, no pussy for you. 20, grace. 30, all right, let's get it together. 40, nigga, what you doing? 50, no pussy for you. You done. We gonna take your box and we gonna give it to another nigga that already got box. This is the talents. This is the whole book of the talents, except for we gonna use box on this. Your box get to go over here because you don't know how to act. All you get is hand action, nigga. No box for you. No head, no box, no nothing. What did Cameron say? No, nigga. No Chinese, no noodles, no nothing. I'm just saying, man, we got to pick it up, bro. We got to hustle. We got to get it, man. Honest to God, bro, we just got to seriously get it, bro. At 40 and you still trying to figure it out, that's a problem, bro. That's a problem. You should either already be on your way, working it through, executing on a plan with tangible results that we can measure, or you need to get out the game, boss. Get out the game. Just get out the game, boss. It's tired. After Saturday, I said to myself, okay. We're not gonna keep on having the same conversation over and over again. And you're gonna keep on telling me, hey man, I need to get my life together. No, nigga, have it together. Have it together. I want to start having these conversations with young niggas that really don't have their life together. I don't want to keep telling these grown fucking men to get your life together. Then you want me to sell you a hat. Yeah, nigga, I'm a bag chaser. No. I'm gonna do my hats like the high-end retailers. You gotta qualify for my shit. You gotta qualify, man. I don't want no niggas walking around Man, I seen you know how I knew a clothing brand had fell off when I seen a bum nigga wearing it on the street. I can't have my brand attached to people that's dusty. Oh, you a bag chaser? Yeah, I'm a bag chaser. Nah, nigga, you're not a bag chaser. You're a crackhead, bro. You're a crackhead. I can't have crackheads wearing my shit, bro. You don't misrepresent the brand. You don't misrepresent the brand. Real talk. And I'm not telling you that you got to be rich. I'm telling you that you got to have your shit together, bro. That's all I'm saying. I'm not telling you that you got to be rich. I'm not telling you. But I am telling you that you got to have a rich mindset. And a rich mindset don't make excuses. They don't blame women for their circumstances. They hold women accountable that's not meeting the expectation. But the only way that you can hold somebody accountable is if you already got your life together. That's the only way. You can't sit here and cheerlead on the sidelines, getting mad at women if you're not in a position to have one. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough, bro. Enough is enough. If we're going to tell women that they have to qualify for the man that they want, that's all I'm saying. Let me read some of the super chats and then we're going to go ahead and get into the next part of the show. A Dunn says, shout out Anton. Today, my son Neo, third birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Neo. Sir Tiberius says, what do you think of Trump considering making 50-year home loans? I'm going to get into that today. Voltaire Art says, all I'm saying, y'all, is that can we meet in the middle? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is can we meet in the middle? Can the women get themselves together and not throw pussy at every nigga that never threw $50 their way and not have children out of wedlock? And can the men be in the position to take in these women that they say that they want if they decide that they want to marry them so that they're not out here looking bad? That's all I'm saying. I'm not asking for nothing that's crazy. I'm not on your side. I'm not on her side. I'm just asking, can we meet in the fucking middle? Hey, listen, work, but don't do this work. Do this work because this is more meaningful to us. Your work may be being a mother. Your work may be, you know what I'm saying, volunteering. Your work may be working at the federal government or whatever, but I don't want you working in the same capacity that I'm working because I have to make sure that we are covered. That's all I'm saying. Can we meet in the middle? We joke a lot, but I really want y'all to be successful. Voltaic Art says, what's good, AD? Just tuned in. What do you feel about 50-year mortgages? Nothing solid, but there are talks of it. Yeah, I'm going to talk about it. I don't like it. I don't like it. 392Q says, so around 6:30 p.m. Croatian time, you'll be on. That sounds about right. Whatever it is, I think it's like 6 hours ahead of me, if I'm not mistaken, or behind me. TS Carwell and Washington Detail Services. I grind like you, big dog, true inspiration. What up, though? Onaka says for the collection plate. What up, Onaka? They call me Mr. Bibb says, good morning, Anton and the Bag Chasers. I would like to send you one thing. I would like to send you one thing. Go to the doctor. My friend and wife, 40 years, passed away yesterday. I'm always at the doctor. What are you talking about? I literally just did. And let me show you. You know me, I love receipts. Time Dog love receipts. I literally just went to the doctor just the other day. I got another test, and it's all negative, 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 negative. Oh, here it is. It's all negative, 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 negative. Let me see. Literally, I just came from the doctor again. Anton Daniels. Negative, 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 negative. Test date. November 7th. Literally. Specimen collected. November 5th. Literally, I just came from the doctor. I'm negative on everything, bro. Honestly. So I don't know what else to tell y'all. Like, now what I want to start seeing is everybody else's results. Y'all go to the doctor. I want to see y'all go to the doctor now. Thought they would have been positive for fentanyl for sure. It's not a pre-employment screening. It's for insurance. It's a second insurance coverage, life insurance. So they make you go through all of these tests and do all of this stuff. If you get an insurance, you get more insurance. So I had to go and do all of the insurance and all of that. All right. Let me see what else is going on. Iron Spider says, don't forget men wasting time watching anime too. Facts. Mr. Lot, shout out to my dog, Mr. Lot. I appreciate you, Mr. Lot. Absolutely. Bro, thank you for the 50 ball. Thank you for holding me down. I appreciate you, bro. I really do appreciate you. More Than Mellow says, my family went home because my dad refused to work after child support started garnishing checks. We survived off of my mom's disability and hotel hopping. Shh. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. He preaching. Rome says, took your advice on the bus heading to BMT for the Air Force right now. Thanks, truly. Congratulations, bro. Congratulations. Or More Fortune says, this is a grown man conversation. They call me Mr. Bibb, says, good show last night. I needed that. Yeah, we had a hell of a show last night. 392Q says that conversation about buying lots sparked a fire in me. My dad and brother are pulling together a plan to build a daycare. 1522 Benton in St. Louis is a lot address. You can look and give insight. I bet. Congratulations, my friend. I'm glad to see people making moves. Shout out to Mr. Lot again. I appreciate y'all. Let me also acknowledge the people. Give me a second. I like that. I like that, Yakar. I like that. Let me see something. Hold on. Make sure I acknowledge the Cash Appers. Shout out to Christopher Williams. I appreciate you. Heather, appreciate you too, says thank you for getting me through my work shift. Emily Bova says thanks for your content. Mike, that dude, I appreciate you. Christopher Williams. What up to my girl, Aaliyah? Aaliyah, sending love before work. I might have you come work for me. I might have you come work for me. All right, y'all. Y'all ready to continue? All right, so what we talking about? We did the shutdown. Should we go over some of the reactions? Let's do a reaction to the shutdown. Because, let me see something.
Democrats cave and reopen the government and cater to the Republicans' requests. My biggest question is, why did we do this? Why did we shut down the government for a month just for you guys to cave to them, just so they can do this shit next month? Don't cave.
I am so sick and tired of establishment Democrats thinking that they can trust Republicans on literally anything. Literally anything. It's like they saw all of the momentum from the elections last week and said, we got to put a stop to that. We had too much winning going on for one night. We got to stop that. Like, it makes no sense. And they are 100% being bought off. And these are the same people that are so fucking terrified of Zoran Mamdani. Meanwhile, they can't even fight for healthcare for their own people. They can't even sit there and point out the fact that the SNAP contingency fund was there. And the president is openly flouting the courts and going to the highest courts in the land to get out of what he was already court ordered to do. Feed the people. And instead, you've got these establishment fucking Democrats that are going off of a promise to vote on these subsidies when you know all of those motherfuckers are going to vote no on it anyway. Every single one of these establishment Democrats just signed their own death certificate tonight for their political career. And I hope that every single one of them is replaced with a Zoran Mamdani type, because I'm over it. I'm over it.
This is the last thing I'm going to say about the Senate Democrats' utter cowardice on this. They think that we live in a world where bipartisanship and holding hands and West Wing ass Aaron Sorkin dialogue is going to smooth over virtually every problem we ever have, and good faith is always going to be a thing that exists in American politics. When I tell you that they are living in an entirely different reality, this is what I mean. I saw a couple of senators that voted for this thing to end the government shutdown unironically say, this gives us an opportunity to have a vote in 40 days on the Affordable Care Act subsidies. And it's like, you're touting a pinky promise for a vote. Bro, liberals are crashing out. They are mad. They are absolutely mad. I don't know who to believe, to be honest with y'all. I don't know who to believe, because on one hand, y'all sat there and y'all said that y'all was crying because y'all was losing y'all jobs and that you needed the government to be open, and you were being upset because you wasn't getting paid and it was becoming a safety issue. Now that they vote to actually keep the government open, because the Republicans didn't blink. The Republicans, they said it from the very beginning. They said, listen, bro, we're not opening up the government. We're going to try to focus on getting our military paid. We will shut down food stamps. We will shut down all of this stuff. Any funding that goes over to universities, any funding that goes over to this, goes over to that, we just going to figure it out. The Republicans are willing to do what it takes to actually fix America. The Congress's job is to make sure that they fund the government, for the purse strings of the government, to make sure that people get paid and to do what they're supposed to do. Now we're sitting here having people crash out. Liberals are crashing out because they feel as though keeping the government open, and then people that actually crossed over the aisle did the right thing to make sure that air traffic controllers and all of these people get paid. You can't use making sure that the government stays funded and open as leverage. You can't use people as leverage to shut the government down so that you can get health care and continue to push the Affordable Care Act. You can't. You just can't. You can't. And if Congress wasn't getting paid, we would have had the government open a long time ago. If Congress was missing paychecks, it's a stronger possibility we would have had the government open a long time ago. So, as usual, they're eating themselves from within. And the whole argument when they said, yeah, we had Democrats really kicking butt. Bruh, New York been liberal for a long time. What did y'all think was going to happen? That y'all thought that somebody was going to come in that was no longer liberal? They just become the more liberal. New York's budget crisis. Let me pull up New York's budget crisis. New York faces a significant budget deficit in 2026. This is what we want to see Mom Donnie handle. I don't give a fuck about free buses. His whole logic of trying to freeze the rent. This is how you're going to find out who truly made of whatever it is that they made of. All right. Check this out. Y'all thought it was bad in Chicago. Chicago is short 1.6 billion. Los Angeles is short 1.6 billion. Denver is short 300 million. New York is projected to have a $15.6 billion structural imbalance. And New York City is estimating a $4.2 billion budget deficit. And do you know what their solution is for this whole thing? You know what the solution is? Higher taxes. Instead of let me tell y'all how dumb New Yorkers are. Instead of New Yorkers asking how they can balance the budget while increasing public safety and to make sure that the people that are supposed to be on government assistance are on government assistance, instead of them having conversations about an upcoming fiscal cliff where they're projected to have a $4.2 billion budget deficit, y'all elected a dude based off of free buses. Jesus. Nobody asked a question about the budget. I don't even think that they asked a question about the budget in the debate. Nobody had a conversation about the budget. You have people literally packing up and trying to get their home sold and get out of New York before this upcoming January, before Mom Donnie takes office. You are about to have a volunteer who has never had a job come into New York and manage. Let me see. What is New York's budget? New York City's annual budget is $112 billion. You're about to bring in a person that has never had a job before. Oh, you know what this kind of reminds me of? You know what this reminds me of, honestly? When I was in elementary school, when I was in the 6th grade, I won class treasurer. When I was in elementary school and I was in the 6th grade, I won class treasurer, right? Never wanted to be president, never wanted to be none of that. The only thing I cared about is the money. So I wanted to know where the money was going. And I promised everybody a lot of things. Listen, guys, we're going to upgrade water fountains. This was me in the 6th grade. We're going to upgrade water fountains. We're going to get better school lunches. And I'm going to work closely with my president, whoever it is that you elect as president. And we're going to have a clean sweep. We're going to sweep this thing and we're going to have bipartisan agreement. And we're going to upgrade lunches. I'm so tired of having tater tots every fucking day. This is a honest to God truth. This is not me lying to you. I'm telling you the honest to God truth. So I won class treasurer. You know what I got to do? Nothing. You know what they allowed for me to do? Organize the fundraising for the dances. And I got to organize Camp Library. I said, ain't this some shit? Camp Library, we were short a little bit of budget. I had to do some fundraising. Hey, guys, we got to come together for Camp Library. Camp Library was when you like stayed overnight at the school overnight and you had different books and stuff like that, right? Never got free lunch. I never got rid of the tater tots because I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand that, wait a minute, this is funded by property taxes, and the community may not have had as much money to contribute into property taxes, and this was distributed from the state. And then they promised us that the lottery money would all go towards the schools, but it wasn't really going towards the schools. It was going towards the state budget, and that we had to show up on count day to make sure that we got funding from the school. Nobody told me that. Nobody told me that. So I started promising better food than tater tots, and that people can go to the water fountain at any time of the day that they wanted to. And this is what we're seeing happen in New York City. You got $112 billion, projected $119 billion budget, a $4 billion deficit. We don't know where he's going to get that money from a guy that has never had a job, going into manage the biggest, most financially impactful city in the United States of America. Do y'all really understand what I'm saying? A guy that has never had a job is going to manage the budget for the biggest, financially, fiscally responsible city in the United States of America. And nobody blinked. Everybody was like, yep, this makes perfect sense. Yep. Sounds like a winner. We're going with him. Sounds like a winner. Unreal. Unreal. But they crashing out. They are. They crashing out. They're not happy about the circumstances, and they believe that the Democrats sold them out.
Maybe when they already ignored the last time that they made a pinky promise, he got no funds. Every candidate running an anti-establishment campaign because they just got the ultimate boon.
There's a lot of people pissed off, still have a lot of fight in them, and I respect that. I do. But you got to understand something.
Shout out to the snow hares from Texas wearing a Harris Wall shirt in the fall going into the winter of 2025. I'm telling you, bro, liberals are cooked. They are cooked.
There's a reason the Democrats made the deal that they did. And it's this. It's really simple. It's not hard. The Republicans made it clear there was no deal to be had. They would destroy anything. They were willing to drive the airlines into bankruptcy. And remember, this is the travel season. This is where the airlines make their money. And the Republicans were more than happy to bankrupt the airlines. They were more than happy to destroy the holidays, destroy the economy. They looked the Democrats dead in the eye and said, there is nothing that we won't destroy. There's no one we will not hurt. You saw that with the SNAP benefits.
He is a Texan.
They're willing to just...
I pulled up his social media. He's a Texan. Let me pull it up. I'm gonna go see if I can find his social media. He a Texan. There's no way that it wasn't the Democrats all might have unliked it. The Democrats are not gonna fund this thing. He's a Texan. He's a straight up Texan, and he's standing 10 toes down in his beliefs.
Starve the least capable of us. The most vulnerable. And at that point, you can either not believe them, which I absolutely believe them. I believe that there was nothing they were not willing to do to destroy the Affordable Care Act. It did not matter to them. And that being the case, what's the point of the shutdown? I mean, I commend the Democrats for trying. But when there's no deal to be made, when the Republicans are telling you, keep it shut down forever, we're destroying the Affordable Care Act. Then it just...
Wait. Why y'all acting like Texas ain't liberal? Specifically cities like Houston, Dallas, and Austin. Why y'all acting like all of y'all just tough? Like all of y'all just walk around with guns, open carry, and Texas tough, and that y'all out here wearing Wrangler jeans. You got a lot of Harris Walls supporters over there in Texas. Why y'all acting like y'all that tough? Y'all not tough. Houston is blue as ever before. Houston is blue like you never seen before. Like, why everybody in Texas is not conservative? Everybody in Texas is not conservative at all, bro. Some reason y'all think that Texas, the people in Texas is just different. They not. They just like everywhere else. Most of the people in Texas ain't even really from Texas. Or let me revise that. Most of the people in Houston ain't even from Texas. Y'all got all kind of transplants. Everybody that was in Louisiana, that was in New Orleans, during the whole situation with that thing, they went over there to Houston. People in Atlanta went to Houston. People from up north went down to Houston. All of the black men and the black women and the black culture, they went down to Houston. It's a whole lot of people that ain't even from Texas in Texas. Y'all flooded. Texas is flooded, boy. Texas is shut. Texas is flooded like you'll never see before. Texas is not. Boy, you got to pick and choose. I heard y'all got whole streets in Houston that's dedicated to the Sassy. I heard the Sassy boys running Houston. I heard that the Sassy boys was running Houston. Am I off? Am I off? I heard that it's a lot of Sassy boys was running Houston. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew what was going on. You can't fool me. I know what's happening. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Where y'all want to go next? We can jump around. Y'all want to go over to the 50-year mortgages? Let's talk about 50-year mortgages. Let me read some of these super chats first. G-Pay, what up, G-Pay? Says, much love, bro. I have so many blessings to you, man. I appreciate it. It actually helped my life. Thank you again, brother. It's all confirmation. Shout out to G-Pay, man. Yes, I love that, bro. I love that you winning. I love that, man. Congratulations, bro. Equal Opportunity Smoke says, I appreciate you, bro, just showing up. Oh, man, I know, bro. I love you too, man. Appreciate you too. Fly Girl Candy says, I was told that I'm too much of an alpha and I'm not submissive enough. However, why should I have to be submissive if I pay my own bills? Am I wrong? Yes, you are wrong. Let me tell you why, Fly Girl Candy. Let me tell you why. You very well may be a good person and a phenomenal woman, but ain't no great man trying to break through your barriers to try to prove to you that you don't have to be alpha. Just listen, you paying your own bills is just you being an adult. That's it. Now, if you want to make it difficult for a man, then you're going to cut off your blessings. But let me tell you something. I'm not fighting with you about what's best for you. I'm not going to fight with you about what's best for you. Either you're going to recognize it and get in line, or you're going to make the adjustment. The question that I have to ask you is, what type of men are you attracting? Because if you have to attract a certain man that you feel like you still have to be that way with, then that means that either you have to make some changes, or you have to adjust the type of men or the type of spaces that you're around, or both. But I wouldn't deal with no self-proclaimed alpha woman at all. I'm not. I'm going to tell you to sit down and shut the fuck up. Honest to God on everything. Honest to God on everything. I'm going to tell you to sit down. Hey, I'm going to just give you the look. Who the fuck you talking to? And I'm going to just keep it moving. I'm going to just look at you. And then I'm going to tell you, you better make the adjustment. And I'm going to just keep on working. I'm telling you, you asked the question, so I have to answer it for you, Fly Girl. Cass says Dems were waiting till after the election. They knew the Repubs would be blamed. It was strategy and leverage. Wesley Turner said, I'm an equal accountability smoke giver. So I'm going to be honest with people. Man, woman, child, everybody is going to get the honest truth. That's my promise to y'all. So they actually want more socialists. They do. Well, they haven't even experienced Mom Donnie yet. So they already asking for something that they're not even aware of. Long Way ENT says gained 29 points on my FICO score today. 80, thanks for the motivation to pay who you owe. God bless and the bag chasers. Hugh Snow Show says, shout out to you, AD, just passed 50 subscribers. Did my first hour live stream with no one attending, and it's only up from here. I love that shit. I love that. Outlander says, I see the MTA police giving a lot of people ticket at the buses recently. I think they see the storm coming with Mom Donnie's policies. I just got a ticket the other day. I paid it the same day, though, or the next day. Brian, the filmmaker, says, real question, why do we have class presidents and everything else? They would win and only just be known as class presidents. We voted for a title. I think it's to give some responsibility to the children while at the same time acknowledging the kids that's supposed to be a lot more. So, for example, our class presidents in high school are the ones that helped organize even the reunions or the funding for the reunions and talking about all of that type of stuff, right? So they do have purpose. I'm not sure the class presidents in elementary school have purpose, but the ones in high school, they supposedly do have purpose. So shout out to my class pres. I still like her. Deanna is dope. Shout out to Deanna. All Productions, what up, though? I appreciate you. Aaliyah says, Anton, stop selling me dreams. LMF, laughing my ass off. I'm gullible. You're supposed to be gullible for me. You know what I'm saying? Yo, as Eric says, just wanted to say hi, AD. What up, though? I see you changed the name. I like that. TS Car Wash and Detail Services, 80. Does the struggle make you hustle harder once the success come? I think that the struggle give you callous. You know what I'm saying? Like it gives you purpose. It gives you character. It helps you to build yourself. If you haven't been through anything, then how do you know what you'll stand up to? You know what I'm saying? Purpose is necessary. Struggle is necessary. Because you're going to struggle at different portions of your life, but how do you deal with it? Ms. Mimi B says, I'm so excited to be invited back to room 9 tonight. See you all then. Thank you, Q&A, for having me back. Yeah. See? Fly Girl Candy says, I like, with all caps, I like that. Thank you. See, she needed somebody to just give her the truth. Women like the truth. They just want you to tell it to them in a way that they can digest it and utilize it effectively. Shout out to all Mr. Hunter 5150. I appreciate you for the super sticker and hold me down, big dog. Thank you, my friend. I might have to have Fly Girl reach out. Might have to have Fly Girl reach out. All right, y'all. Let me see what's popping with these 50-year mortgages. Let me see something. Um, 50-year mortgage.
30-year mortgage. The Trump administration is moving forward with the plan to introduce a 50-year fixed-rate mortgage, a reform officials believe could make homeownership more feasible for millions of Americans amid soaring prices and affordability concerns. Now, President Trump first floated the idea Saturday on social media, but not everyone is a fan. Critics warn extending mortgages that long, it can essentially result in people paying far more interest and potentially trap borrowers in debt for a lifetime. Alex Jaquez is Chief of Policy and Advocacy at Groundwork Collaborative and previously served on the White House National Economic Council. Alex, thank you for joining us. Now, extending a mortgage from 30 to 50 years, it could potentially drop the monthly payment, but there are drawbacks. What are they?
That's right. So Trump is obviously trying to find an answer on affordability for housing, which right now we're seeing one of the worst housing markets that we've seen in recent times. And so the 50-year mortgage is a play to lower people's monthly mortgage payments. But the downside is, especially early on, all of that payment will be going to interest. And of course, since you're paying over 50 years and not over 30 years, you're going to be paying off that mortgage for a lot longer. So the details are still to be worked out, but it looks to be like the president's looking for a quick fix to a market that is fundamentally broken right now.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem with, well, listen, you're asking a person like me, and I'm not just going to agree just because it's Trump. I'm going to be objective like I always do. There's a lot of things that I don't agree with, but then at the same time, most of what he does I actually like. But let me reassure y'all of something before I even get into this. You getting a 50-year mortgage is a choice. You getting a 30-year mortgage is a choice. You getting a 10-year mortgage is a choice. Everything that you do is a choice. So just because they market it to you does not mean that this is what you are supposed to do. Okay? So number one, I don't like paying 30-year mortgages or any of that type of stuff anyway, because by the time that you actually pay for it, you'll more than double the amount that you paid, which most of it is front loaded with interest. So the first 10, 15 years, you're mostly paying interest. Eric D says, what about the $2,000 payments? Well, see, that's the beautiful part about it, is that most people, let me tell you something. Most people will do whatever it is that they can do in order to get into a house. They don't care. They don't care. The illusion of saying I own my home, even if it's owned by the bank, is enticing. You know how I know? Because people paying 21% interest on credit cards. Who in their right mind will pay 20 plus interest, 17% interest on credit cards? Would you think that people are going to change just because it's applicable to a home? No, they're going to justify it. They're going to justify it. You know how they're going to justify it? I'm going to get the 50, but I'm going to pay it down early. No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm going to get the 50, but I'm doing it for equity. Shit, I would be paying rent anyway. No, you're not. No, you're not. They're going to do all of this. What about and let me tell you what else they're going to do. They're going to go based off of the payment and not based off of the purchase price of the home. Because economists and accountants say that you need to focus on only allocating 30, 25, 20, 29, 27% of your income towards your payment of your mortgage. I cannot tell you how many people that I have talked to when I say, hey, listen, don't do that deal. Hey, listen, I don't do this deal. Hey, listen, don't do this deal. And they will say, but my mortgage will only be this. But my mortgage, people are addicted to payments. Us as a society, we are addicted to payments. We are woefully addicted to payments because they marketed it to us and say, well, this is the only way that you can get a home. And so we don't force ourselves or our brains to ever think differently or think outside of the box. 50 years, nigga. If I was born and started making payments to my mortgage and I kept it for the whole 50 years, I wouldn't be done till I'm 50. If I got a mortgage at 20, I wouldn't be done till I'm 70. 70. Bruh, Mika is right. What up, Mika? Mika's right. I think that 30 is tough. That's a tough sell for me. That's a tough sell. Bruh, I am so adverse to payments. I hate, I hate paying property taxes. And because I got to pay it for the winter and for the summer, right? You get two different times. When I get that stack, fucking 20, 21, 22 stack of property tax payments, and I got to make them payments, I get so aggravated. So imagine what I would feel like if I had to actually pay a mortgage. And then when y'all pay y'all mortgage, because some of y'all are not responsible, they have to bake in your insurance and they bake in your property taxes. So they take an escrow. Well, what is escrow for people that may not know what escrow is? Because some of y'all just make payments and y'all don't even look at y'all statements. So escrow is them reserving money based off how much they think that your property taxes is going to be. So they break it up into payments because most people are not responsible enough to actually make the payment separately. And the mortgage company got to protect their investment because they don't want it to go to the county. So now they have to take out your insurance payment and they have to take out escrow, and that's become all a part of your mortgage payment. And if you short on escrow, then either they'll divide it up based off of your future escrow payments, or you'll have to send in an additional payment to make up for the escrow shortage. And occasionally, every once in a while, you'll get a refund check for an overpayment and you overpaid it. I can't stand making property tax payments. It aggravates me to my core. Man, I gotta make a property tax payment. I gotta make a property tax payment. I gotta make a property tax payment. So think about that. A 50-year mortgage. Now, if this does go through, because I do think that this is gonna go through, I think that eventually you're gonna get a 50-year mortgage, 100%. Now, when it does go through, the thing that you really should be worried about is the flippers and the fraudsters and the people that are just banking on getting equity or holding it for a short period of time, because it's just going to be another method of financing for people to finesse through. And then you're going to see the Caesars and stuff like that saying, well, we're going to hold a conference over you being able to get a 50-year mortgage. You can do that and get a hard money loan. And this is going to help you flip this property. You're going to flip my house.
Now, besides a potentially lower monthly payment, are there any other potential advantages for homeowners?
Well, if you're refinancing, you lock in a low rate for a long period of time, like those who managed to refinance when interest rates were low during the post-COVID era. Locking in those rates for a 50-year time period can, of course, be advantageous. Of course, most people do not.
Somebody said, hey, AD, a 50-year mortgage is crazy. Nigga, a 30-year mortgage is crazy. But y'all went for it. A 30-year mortgage is crazy, bro, in my opinion. And again, part of it is just that people don't want to get what they can afford. They go and get what they think that they deserve and what they feel like their kids should have. People go and get what they feel like they deserve. And so somehow, some way they finesse us and believing that a 30-year mortgage makes sense. That sounds crazy to me. I could never think about paying something for 30 years.
Spend 30 or 50 years in their home and tend to refinance or sell after 7 to 9 years. And so there would clearly be a lot of buying and selling within that 50-year period, but it's hard to estimate exactly how this new mortgage product would impact the market right now, given.
Or they're going to get y'all in there and tell y'all can refinance once you get in there.
that housing starts are so low, given that the sales turnover right now is so low, and that consumers are extremely depressed. We saw consumer sentiment numbers last week that were the second lowest recorded of all time. So families are not buying right now.
Now, the administration, they're suggesting that the 50-year plan would break the housing market gridlock and eventually even lead to cheaper housing. Is that accurate?
Nope.
It's certainly possible, but it's hard to see the impact right now. Of course, because you've got those lower housing starts, you're having fewer houses being built. And so right now, adding more mortgage buyers to the market is going to bid up prices on the inventory that exists. And housing prices are already going up, clearing about $450,000 median home price, even though people are still struggling to buy. So you could be throwing gasoline on the fire on these rising home prices.
Now,
listen, just because you create more creative financing for people to be able to get into homes does not mean that the price of homes are going down. As a matter of fact, I would argue that the price of homes actually go up. I would argue that the price of housing will actually go up because you'll have more people participating in the market. You're going to have more turnover of properties. It's not going to go down. It's going to go up. I don't believe that there's much that can happen that would actually drive housing prices down. I don't think that housing prices is ever going to go down. I think that we're going to have an affordability crisis and whether or not people can afford to buy homes. So now they're trying to figure out more creative ways for you to finance that home. It kind of reminds me of the exotic car market. It reminds me of the exotic car market. Now, again, I have to give you a real life example so that you'll understand what I'm saying. It's similar to how I give you a real life example with my mock elections, or not mock elections, with my elections in elementary school to illustrate Zoran Mamdani. How I give you all examples on everything, right? It reminds me of what happens in the exotic car market. And so if we want to look to see what's going to happen, all you got to do is look at what happened when people buy supercars or exotic cars or whatever, right? And so it seems like everybody is just able to afford these big cars and these $5,000 and $6,000 and $7,000 payments and all of this stuff, right? Man, don't you know that some of those cars be financed for 10 years, 11 years, 12 years? Bro, they have creative financing where people are financing for 10 plus years. Yes, they do have those type of loans. So instead of them saying, all right, so listen, I know that I got a car on order, right? I personally have a car on order. I'm going to be the first in Michigan with a Lamborghini Temerario that is a replacement for the Huracan, and it is going to be beautiful. It's gorgeous. We already built it. It's baby blue. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I dreamed of having this car since I was a young man. It's always been a thing that I wanted. Can't wait to get my hands on it. And I actually got my price sheet right here too. Yep, I got my price sheet right there. This mug is so many pages. $476,000 is a spec. $476,000. So I know that this car is coming next spring, right? I know this. I know that this car is coming next spring. And so what did I do? I said, okay, well, I know that it's coming. I know when they're going to start building it. I know when it's going to pop off. So what am I going to do? What did I do? Well, first of all, I put in a deposit, right? First of all, I put in a deposit. And then secondly, I stacked for it. I stacked for it. And that's it right there. Got the color accents. We got all of the trim. We got everything. What's $28,000? Oh, the carbon rims. Got it. So it's $476,000, but I stacked for it. And that way, when they bring it out, when they hand it to me, there's no payments. Now, I might finance a little bit just to make sure that I continue to build the relationship with Lamborghini. But I'm going to just pay for it. And that way, it's mine. And the only thing that you're paying for is the insurance. So I might finance maybe, I don't know, 50, 60,000 of it just to make sure that I build the relationship initially, right, for 6 months. And then I'm going to pay that off just to make sure that they can look me in the system and say, oh, no, he did finance with us before. I wouldn't be buying anything right now, pay off your debt. I don't have debt. I have been the biggest advocate for no debt. Listen, there has been nobody, and I've seen all of the fake economists. Bro, I wonder what the people that was going at Dave Ramsey is saying right now. I wonder what the people, remember when we was doing review videos of the people that was saying Dave Ramsey is wrong, you got to do this, you got to do that. And I was like, no, Dave is right. Pay off your debt. Make sure that you fuck credit. Credit ain't gonna mean nothing in a couple years. Fuck credit. I mean, it doesn't mean that you can't have credit, but credit is not gonna be as important as y'all think it is in a couple years. Pay off your debt. Get rid of the debt. People kept asking me, Anton, should I invest or pay off my debt? Anton, should I invest or pay off my debt first? Pay off the debt. Pay off the debt. Pay off the debt. Pay off the debt. Get the car note out from under you. Get them credit cards out from under you. Debt is the enemy of wealth. We know that you're not going to beat the return most of the time. You can't beat the return of what you're going to be paying on a credit card in interest. Get rid of that, so on and so forth, whatever. And oh my God, people was on Dave Ramsey. Dave don't get it. Dave is a boomer. He don't really understand. And Dave was right again. And Anton was right again. And we was right again. Over and over and over and over. I've seen so many people. Oh man, I need to find that now. I've seen so many people saying that Dave is wrong. That was way back then too. They said that Dave Ramsey is wrong. You don't know what he's talking about. Man, we need to start revisiting some of these conversations. We seriously need to start revisiting some of these conversations. I remember when people said that Dave Ramsey was wrong. But this is one example.
Done with our finances. Because here's the reality. We're done with our finances because we have people like Dave Ramsey.
Is it Centimillionaire? Check out what this guy is saying.
Our finances. Because here's the reality. We're done with our finances because we have people like Dave Ramsey giving us our financial advice. Recently, Dave Ramsey said that you should not buy a home until you've got 20% to put as a down payment on that home. Now,
So I don't even want to go into a story. Then get the more becoming popular. There's a lot of people that said Dave Ramsey was wrong, this and that, this and that. I want to know where these internet gurus are nowadays. I want to know where these internet gurus are. I want to know where all of the people are that told y'all to finance y'all way to success, get into this, get into that, so on and so forth. I would love to know. Where are they? Well, credit still matters. He was wrong about that. In what way? Why is credit so important to y'all? I'm curious. Why is credit so important? Why is it so important to focus on building up your credit? You don't have to focus on building up your credit. You could literally go and get a trade line. You could literally go and have somebody add you as an authorized user and don't even give you a card, and you got their entire credit history overnight just like that. What is so important that you need with credit? What do you need with credit to where you have to spend all of this time and all of this energy just so you can have bad credit the minute that you get laid off? What do y'all need? What do y'all need credit for? I'm just curious. Why is it so important to you? Why is it so important to you? What do you need credit for? Stop falling. Stop falling for the okie doke to be approved for loans. Stop falling for the society norms. You don't need this stuff. Now, I'm not saying you can't have a credit card, but most people are not responsible enough to have one. Show me where you don't need credit. What do I need credit for? I don't use no money to build my houses. I don't need no money to do nothing. I mean, I don't need no credit to do none of that stuff. What do I need credit for? I buy my cars cash. What do I need credit for? I don't need it. I can leverage it if I want to. You can also utilize it in certain things, but you don't need anything. All they doing is managing your ability to pay them interest. That's it. Get off the nipple. Get off the titty. Get off the nipple and get off the titty. What do you need it for? I can only speak on me. Oh, I can't speak on the people that I made millionaires. I can't speak on the people that's paid off their homes. I can't speak on the people that I've helped become successful. I can't speak on the people that I've helped get out of debt. What do you mean? Why can't I speak on it? If anybody can speak on it, it's me. How can I speak on it? Who's more qualified to speak on it that you know of than me? Anyways, make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. To get a rental property, y'all gonna go broke trying to get into real estate that y'all don't understand. That's why y'all need to join the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Gary, shout out to Gary, says amazing content. Rich D in the building. I appreciate you, Rich. George Everett says, shit, renting that thing out 5% more than a mortgage and renting something cheaper. Rent that thing out for 5 to 10% more than the mortgage and rent something cheaper. Okay. All right. So let's explore this, right? Because everybody got a plan until the plan kick you in your ass. All right. What about when they miss a payment or two? What about when it takes them 6 months to get out of the property because the state that you in, and it's going to cost you about $5,000. In addition to that, and costs and court costs and sheriff costs and eviction costs, and you're going to have to redo the property because they're going to leave it messed up. Then what you going to do? Because everything is not just smooth. Sometimes you have a problem tenant. Sometimes you get a squatter. Sometimes you get somebody that don't want to pay their bills. Sometimes you get a problematic person. Sometimes they leave a property and it's got $10,000 to $15,000 in damage that you got to fix. What you going to do then? Who going to cover it for you? Because see, like I said, this is the part that they don't tell you in the courses that y'all buy. This is the part that they tell you in the courses that they buy. What happens when they raise your property taxes? So easy though, right? It's just so easy. I'm thinking the extreme. Am I? Interesting. Very interesting. AP 1804 says, what if you pay extra monthly on your mortgage? Well, then you can pay more on the principal and you can eliminate more of the interest. Love curly hair. So happy your tests are all clear, my king. What is wrong with me? Why does that ultimately get me riled up? Good afternoon. Hello, bag chasers. Majestic James says, Time Dog, I'm 29 and I make $50,000 a year. I have no kids and I have my own everything and a 50K 401k. I feel like I'm stuck and I needed that coaching call. All right. I got you, bro. Honestly, I got you. Tanea Davis says, hey, AD, send in love and intercept, but that's good also. And accessory prayers to my favorite content creator. Happy Monday, Jesus is King. What up, Tanea? What's going on? I don't even know how long I've been streaming. Let me see something real quick. How long have I been streaming, y'all? I have no clue. For whatever reason, it doesn't show how long I've been streaming. Anyways, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. All right, we did the 50-year mortgage joint. Bernie Sanders? No, we already did. I want to go over to Elon Musk and his $1 trillion pay package. I'm going to get there in a second. I want to go over to Chuck Schumer and Bernie Sanders real quick. And Speaker Mike Johnson, the House Speaker Mike Johnson, he talked. Americans' debt hit a record high. We might be able to tap into that. Yeah, let's hit Bernie Sanders and Chuck Schumer. Because they was trying to encourage the people not to vote for what was going on. So I'm going to deep dive into that. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's rock.
Senator from Vermont.
I understand that the way the process has been developed, it is impossible to delay the votes that are going to take place. And if that were not the case, that is certainly what I would do, because I think it is important that the American people fully understand what is being voted on today. Everybody in America knows that our current healthcare system is broken. It is dysfunctional. It is cruel. It is by far the most expensive healthcare system in the world, and the only healthcare system of any major country that does not guarantee healthcare to all people as a human right, covering every man, woman, and child. We are unique in that respect. And yet tonight—
Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think, and this is just a question, do y'all think that healthcare should be a human right? Just a question. Just want to get a consensus. Should healthcare be a human right? And I think that also one of the reasons that the healthcare system is broken is honestly because of illegal migrants and people that wasn't supposed to have it. Let's continue. While he talks about this, just think about it.
What this Senate is about to do is make a horrific situation even worse. So let's be clear what this vote is about. If this vote succeeds, over 20 million Americans are going to see at least a doubling in their premiums in the Affordable Care Act. In my state of Vermont and throughout this country, for certain groups of people, it will be a tripling and a quadrupling of their premiums. There are people who will now be paying 50% of their limited incomes for health care. Does anybody in the world think that makes sense? And if this resolution is passed tonight, we are on a pathway to throw 15 million Americans off of Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act. 15 million. Our job is to create universal health care, guarantee health care to every man, woman, and child, not throw 15 million people off the health care they have, low income and working class people.
Nah, I don't think that your job, I didn't know that Congress's job was to create universal health care for everybody. Honestly, they want it to be like Canada. I don't know if y'all familiar with Canada and Canada's system, but Canada is fucked up, bro. Canada is messed up. I don't know if y'all are familiar, but Canada is messed up. It is absolutely broken as far as their free healthcare. It's not. It's subsidized by taxpayers. Nobody has primary care physicians. The wait rooms is crazy. They don't get preventative care, and they're getting taxed out of their eyeballs. They are getting destroyed out of their eyeballs, and they have some of the highest taxes that I've ever seen in my entire life. Most people that I know that is in Canada, they come to the United States of America or they go down to Mexico for a cheaper price. Listen, let me tell you something. The problem with healthcare, in my opinion, in this country, because I believe that we shouldn't just continue to throw money at it. I think that we need to fix it. The problem with healthcare in this country is that we charge too much for everything and we subsidize everything. Everything is charged a lot of money and everything is subsidized. I'll give you an example. A lot of people that live closer to the border, closer to the southern border, they go over into Mexico and buy the same prescription that we get charged a ton of money over here inside of the United States of America. Now that I'm paying for my own because I don't have a corporate position, it's so funny because the same thing that Rita would maybe get that we would have to pay a copay for or whatever, it's actually cheaper to pay for it out of pocket. When people go and get a whole screening, all of this type of stuff, and they go over to Turkey, people go to Thailand and Turkey. See, people think that Thailand is a place for sex tourism. Yes, for dudes that can't get pussy here in the United States of America and that they want to just pay a ladyboy to come and lick their butt. Thailand is also similar to Turkey in that you can go and get literally a full screening. You can spend a whole day to get tested, and it will tell you every single thing that is wrong with your body, and they can actually do all of the different machines and all of this stuff. Honest to God. People go to Turkey to get the same procedures that they get over here, except we're charged an egregious amount of money. People go down to Mexico to get the same drugs that is not overly regulated here in the United States of America, and then they come back over here in the United States of America. I'm being honest with you. We pay for hospital care. When you go into the hospital, when you get a bill, go and look at the bill, whether you got insurance or whether you not got insurance. When you go to the hospital, go and look at the bill. We don't spend enough time on preventative care. We require for our healthcare providers to pay for same sex fucking sex changes and shit. It's so much blow, so much price gouging on prescription drugs, less competition so that they can continue to run up the prices. Healthcare providers, hospitals, they charge us for when people don't go to the hospital and they don't pay their bills. And so we're paying for infrastructure costs. We're paying for doctors. We're paying for anesthesiologists. We're paying for all of this stuff. And that is what charges our healthcare companies, which then raises our premiums. And that's why we got to pay so much per month, even if we never even use the service. But see, Congress, they don't want to tackle the real problems. You know why? Because big pharmaceutical companies are actually continuing to fund some of their campaigns. So instead of them saying, listen, we really need to start tackling the price gouging and the issues and the real problems that's happening inside the United States of America, instead of them saying that, they say we need to extend Obamacare tax credits for people so that their premiums or that they don't lose health care coverage. We don't want to solve for the real problems here in the United States of America. We want to continue to act like it's all about health care credits. What? So you don't want to tackle big pharma? You don't want to tackle the addiction and the opioid crisis? You don't want to tackle preventative care? You don't want to get us healthier? You don't want to change what's in our food? They're fighting to change what's in our food. We can't, when we eat this shit over here in the United States of America, it's different than what we eat over there in Japan. But Japan don't have the same type of system that we have, but they live to be fucking 105 years old in good health. The problems is not the Obamacare. Obamacare actually raised the cost of healthcare. The real problem is all of the other things, the core issues of what is wrong, of what we then have inside of the United States of America. They're selling us the problem and then also selling us the solution at the same time. They double dipping. They don't want to fix what's in our food. They don't want to do preventative care. They don't really want to solve for cancer, even though we didn't literally probably threw trillions of dollars at cancer research. We keep on doing these goddamn walks and looking at these ribbons and turning everything pink at the NFL. But we don't really want to solve for the problem. We don't want to solve for the problem. We don't want to really lower it. We don't want to make things and fix it for real in real life. You know why? Because people have a financial interest to keep things the way that it is. So they'd rather have us as taxpayers continue to subsidize people's lifestyle in the name of universal health care for everybody instead of actually having a real conversation of what's wrong in our culture. And the people in Congress know, because they're being funded by the same people on both sides that's making money from the taxpayers continuing to subsidize Obamacare. But I digress. They are shutting, they had the government shut down to basically fight for big pharma and continue to fight for the people that's poisoning us. That's what the real problem is. We need to tear this whole shit down. So much of this in our lives and in our culture need to be torn down, but nobody wants to be uncomfortable. Nobody wants to actually have a real conversation. Nobody wants to be uncomfortable. We don't want to do things that's best for the next generation. We don't care. We are selfish. We are the most selfish. People in previous generations was willing to die for us. Now, I understand also that we don't want to make that adjustment because we don't appreciate it either, because we don't appreciate what the people did in yesteryear. People died for our right to vote, and we sit there and be like, nigga, I don't give a fuck about that. We just be looking stupid. We owe a debt to the next generation that we won't pass on because the boomers and the Xers fucked up, right? So we need to make sure that we do it and really get uncomfortable, but we not going to do that because we know that it's going to make us too inconvenienced, and we're the inconvenience we the convenience generation. We like all shit easy. We don't want to do nothing hard. We don't want to do nothing hard. We don't want to actually tackle the systems. The system isn't systematic oppression. The system is economic oppression because you don't understand the plays. You don't understand how money works. And so you can't divest yourself from it. You just automatically believe that you need to have this healthcare coverage. My premiums. Have you ever asked yourself what you need this for? Because we don't want to sit and think. By default, we always felt like we had to have this. Man, I look at all of the paychecks of all of the healthcare coverage that I done paid for my entire life, from the time that I was 18 years old, all the way up until being in my 40s. Man, do you know how much my job was taking money out of our accounts? Imagine a world, think about this for a second. Imagine a world where we could do what we wanted to do with our own money. Imagine they gave us all of the money of our checks and said, listen, figure it out. No handouts, no nothing. Figure it the fuck out. Whatever you work for, you keep. We're going to charge a minimum amount of taxes. We also going to make sure that we charge tariffs on being, doing business with the United States of America. The things that we need to charge on taxes is only for public safety, infrastructure, and to give us the guardrails so that we'll have a basic framework of what a government is supposed to be. We need to have some level of regulation. We have to have people meet certain building codes and all of this stuff, but you keep all of your own fucking money. They would dig too much into everybody else's pockets. It would dig too much into people's pockets. Man, it's entire companies that's built off of this shit. They're not letting that fail. It's entire companies that's built off of this. They're not letting that fail. We need Big Brother to fix us. Hey, give us what we supposed to have. Give us this Ponzi scheme that we call Social Security. I'm paying for the next nigga that's old now. And now I got to hope that somebody pay for it when I get old so that I can get what I paid into for the next dude.
And my friends, know what you are voting on. Studies are out there that when you throw 15 million people off of health care, some 50,000 of our fellow Americans will die unnecessarily every single year. Anyone think that's funny? Something to laugh at? Something to just go past? I don't. 50,000 Americans die unnecessarily. Now, I know as part of this resolution that the majority leader is going to say, well, Democrats can put together their own bill, and it'll come to the floor here in the Senate for a vote. As everybody here knows, that is a totally mean.
Yeah, I got you, Bernie. Shout out to you. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Feel the burn, y'all. Feel the burn. Let me read some of these super chats. VS01 says, fellow Michigander. What up, VS? Says, just joined the Patreon. Learned a lot since finding you 4 weeks ago. Looking forward to learning more. We got a live stream tomorrow. I want to live stream before I go out of shoot out of town, and then I'm gonna drop that Brian McKnight interview too. Yo, as Eric says, think I'm listening to you. Listen to you're successful. Jason A team says, when he says tripling their premiums, he means the government will pass that subsidies on to you privately or in other ways. These people are evil. A lot of people don't have insurance. Tragic 504 says, use your credit card like a debit card and pay off weekly to avoid interest, and you'll also gain cash back. You can apply to statements or bank accounts. Really, most people just need an HSA account, and then they need to do the preventative maintenance, and you'll be okay. Too much like right, though. Jesse V says, how you going to gloss over that ladyboy part? Because a lot of people go to Thailand for ladyboys. I even be wanting to go to some of these countries to visit some stuff, like with my people and stuff like that, like with my daughter and stuff, but I can't go because it has too much of a bad reputation. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says the rich only listen to the wealthy, right? Leslie Wiggins says Hippocrates said food is medicine. Easy access to food that doesn't have pesticides and ingredients that we can't pronounce should be a human right. They need to stop lying and demonizing food that's good for us. Mika G says certainly it should be, as a taxpaying citizen paying into healthcare insurance, as well as incentives for contributing as annual income credit. Tanea says, I used to believe in universal healthcare until I was asked to write a debate speech in the prison Toastmasters chapter from opposing side. After I researched it, I realized it was a disaster by the way we won that debate. Mike B, the watcher, says facts on your healthcare take. Taught this in Ivy League school. Long time, first time commenting. Salute to my fellow bag chasers and you, bro. From South Carolina. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all. We rocking today. We cooking and we rocking. All right. I ain't even take a nap today either. AD, since Croatia is 6 hours ahead, what time will the live streams be? Well, as of right now, I'm expecting for my live streams to still be at the same time. Usually when I go out of town, I still operate off of Eastern Standard Time. I don't change the time that I operate off of. That's how I stay in tune with what's going on. One of my phones I'll keep Eastern, and then the other phone I'll make sure that it's so I can look at both times. Other phone just automatically adapt to whatever time I'm in. So he says, so 9 p.m. No. Here it should still be the same time. My goal is to still operate off at the same time. When I was in Japan, I did it, and it was 12 hours off. So no after hours, yes. Listen, all of the shows are still going to be the same. All right. That's the expectation. Unless I tell y'all differently, all of the shows are still going to be the same. It's not going to change. All right. Let me see what we want to talk about next. Tariff dividend. Yeah, Trump was talking about giving a tariff dividend. Rent, 50-year mortgages. Elon Musk. Let's go to Elon Musk. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk could become the world's first trillionaire after Tesla shareholders approve a pay package for Musk worth roughly $1 trillion.
Say it like this, $1 trillion. The package gives Musk 12 tranches of stock in a 10-year period tied to performance targets that could eventually hand Musk around 25% stock ownership in Tesla. Joining us now to break this all down is Kurt, the cyber guy. Kurt, so Elon Musk is worth about $500 billion right now. He could increase that by $900 billion, almost $1 trillion. So going from rich to richer, why does this matter?
Well, he's you got to keep him around. He is so tied to that brand. Good morning to you, both of you. And Todd, if you would just give her a birthday hug for me, if you would. Carly, happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Elon Musk having quite a celebration after this pay package has been approved by the board. And man, he might be the very first trillionaire. Now he's got to, got some hurdles to get through. He's got to really do some performance with Tesla in order to earn all of that. But hey, he's done it before. Can he do it again? I would say it's quite possible. The guy has pulled a rabbit out of his hat one time after another.
Okay, so what should we be watching for from Tesla innovation-wise for him to hit these milestones? Because it's not just going to be based upon business as usual, selling a few Teslas. It's got to be a lot more. What are you looking for?
The competition is in China, period. I mean, we've got all kinds of EVs that are being introduced in China that, quite frankly, beat out Tesla's current product line. So he's got to innovate there. When you have a U.S. car maker CEO driving a Chinese-made EV saying this quite could be the best car I've ever been in, it's very telling about the U.S. industry as it relates to EV development. So he's got quite a path there for innovating into cars that you and I want to buy.
And also, there's talk about stuff in the skies and all that. So at the end of the day, do you think that the shareholders of Tesla made the right call in authorizing this pay package?
Well, you got to keep them around. What is Tesla without Elon Musk? And at the same time, it is tied to performance. So if he doesn't meet certain benchmarks of performing, bringing Tesla back around, well, he's not getting that kind of money.
Well, they didn't really give us as much context. So let me deep dive a little bit into y'all. And I'm going to go into this from an investment perspective on the Patreon as a part of the live stream tomorrow. So I'm going to go and do a much deeper dive. But let me give y'all some basics, okay? So his his $1 trillion pay package is tied to the company being valued. So he has several targets that he has to hit, all right? Now, I'm going to tell you why these targets are important and why the company approved him getting $1 trillion. Some people, like I've seen some liberals on the left say stuff like, well, Elon Musk, nobody deserves to be a billionaire, let alone a trillionaire, because they count other people's money and they believe in overtaxing, and somehow they deserve to get the money from you, even though you're the one that created this awesome company. Well, that's not going to happen. This is why capitalism is good. The shareholders actually approved it at a 75% clip. Well, why? Because Elon Musk owning 25% or gaining that many shares for Tesla means that the value of their stock goes up, okay? So number one, this is not cash. I want people to understand. He doesn't get $1 trillion in cash. He gets $1 trillion worth of stock, all right? Why is that important? Because as long as you have that stock option, then that means you don't get taxed on it until you sell. As long as you own or you buy into the company, you don't get taxed on it unless you sell, okay? So owning the stock And let this be a lesson. I'm telling you this because I want you to start thinking about your own pay packages as you guys continue to level up. Getting equity, getting paid in equity is much more effective than getting paid in cash. Most people, once you get up to certain levels, get a minimum amount that they need to live on a day-to-day basis in their regular salary, and then they get paid in bonuses and equity. All right? So let me break it down for you a little bit deeper. Let me make it more relatable to you. Let's say the people that I stream with on After Hours, right? And they say, man, Anton is getting all this money, right? But then I say, well, the more that I make, the more that you make. It changes the dynamic of the conversation. Their pay goes up as my pay goes up because the success of the channel makes it more lucrative for them, which means that they have a vested interest in seeing me successful. They're going to push me. They're going to support me. That's why companies that do profit sharing are much more successful than companies that just give people basic raises, because it gives people a vested interest in the quality, the greatness of their work. When you do profit sharing, that means when a company do good, you do good. If the company don't do good, then you don't do good. So Elon Musk's pay package is directly tied to his success in being great at Tesla. So if I'm an investor in Tesla, this is what I would want my CEO's pay package to be tied to. Why? Because Tesla's current market valuation is somewhere between $1 and $2 trillion, which means that if they raise the valuation of the company to $8.5 trillion, what does that reflect on? And you're buying into the stock. We always like to have a conversation in our communities from a poor perspective. So we always thinking about chains, cars, whips. But the one thing that we don't do is we don't take equity in companies. And I've been selling y'all this and I've been preaching y'all this for a long time. Whatever it is that you buy or you want, cut it in half. Cut it in half, and half of whatever it is that you make should be going to investments. The other half, you can go and do whatever it is that you want to do. I have a 95-5 ratio at this point. So anything that I buy, it's going to be 5% of my income. The other 95% is going to go into companies and stock. Why? Because that is the thing where I get my value from. That is where the assets is. I want be an equity partner in Tesla, because as he raises the value of the company, so goes my net worth. His net worth goes up. Now his goes up a lot more than mine, but I benefit from him. I benefit from him. So let's talk about the targets, right? The first target that they want him to hit is a $8.5 trillion market capitalization. Well, the most valuable company in the world right now is valued at what? Between $4 and $5 trillion. That's NVIDIA. They had a $5 trillion market valuation. That's basically all of the stock, right? And then you sell it for whatever it is. If you sold all the stock today and you sold it for whatever it is that is going for per share, that is what the valuation of the company is. It's actually went down. It's retracted from 5 trillion, but obviously it's going to blow back up. So the valuation of the company, he wants them to raise the value of the company, which is raising the value of the stock, which affects everybody, to $8.5 trillion. All right. The first tranche. So basically he has it coming in based off of milestones. If I pay a contractor and I bring a contractor coming in, the contractor comes in and he says, Anton, I want to do this business with you, right? And I say, okay, but I don't know if you're really going to deliver, but I want you to deliver. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down by milestones. That's how I pay my contractors. Once they reach a certain milestone, I'll release a percentage of their pay. Once they reach another milestone, I'll release 50%. Once they reach, another milestone, I'll release 75%. And then when they get the whole job done and they get the final payment, they happy, I'm happy. The faster that they work, the faster that they get their money. It's the same thing with this. The quicker, the greater that they are in innovation, which is why they're speeding innovation with companies like Tesla and NVIDIA, is because the greater the innovation, the more everybody gets rewarded, right? So them raising the value of the company affects everybody. So it's released in tranches, and he gets his first tranche at $8.5 trillion market capitalization. That's how he became rich in Tesla in the first place, all right? The second thing that we really want to highlight is operational and product related targets. That means that they want him to get to 20 million vehicles delivered. 20 million vehicles delivered over a 10-year period. That means that Tesla has to continue to compete with Chinese companies. They have to continue to compete on American soil. They got to expand their footprint, and they got to continue to run up a bag. 1 million robots sold. This tells me that they're not fucking around when it comes to that humanoid robot. They want to get 1 million and or 1 million robo-taxis in operation and 10 million full self-driving subscriptions. Subscriptions are something that they can develop in-house and roll out to everybody so you don't have to sell individual vehicles in order to generate revenue for the company. So what are we telling you? I'm telling you that all of this is profit-driven, and his $1 trillion pay package is based off of his delivery for the company, his delivery for shareholders. They work for the shareholders. They don't work for the general public. So when you see these raging liberals out here running around and complaining about, oh my God, I can't believe it. The only reason that they complaining, or the only reason why everybody else ain't complaining, is because we have interest in Tesla. We are invested. I want to see him win. Why would I not want to see Elon Musk win? I have a ton of Tesla stock. This is the conversations that we need to start having. Ownership. Ownership is not you having to go and open up your own business. Ownership is opening up a brokerage account, getting into Patreon, learning how to dollar cost average, the things that we look for when we're looking to invest in a company, learning how to read the charts, and making informed decisions on what companies you want to own. And that is the thing that you can then leverage. You can borrow from your stocks. You can own the company. You can continue to raise up your valuation. It's more than one way to skin a cat. But because we don't have these conversations, because we don't want to invest in ourselves, we are very risk averse when it comes to putting money in the market or investing in companies that we otherwise would not have access to had they not been publicly traded companies. But we want to spend a bunch of money on video games and bots. Fuck that video game. Go and put you some money in some stuff that actually add value into your life. When I seen that $1 trillion pay package, it made me excited, right? It made me excited. You get hot and bothered off of a hoe. I get hot and bothered off of the valuation of the company going up. Made me want to go and get some boxolitis. You know what I'm saying? Made me interested. Made me want to go and start and salivating. You know what I'm saying? It made me salivate because now I'm like, wait a minute. If he hit an $8.5 trillion valuation, that means that he's also going to be really driven on pushing this innovation. You don't need universal basic income. You need universal basic investment. We all need UBI. You don't need universal basic income. You need universal basic investments. We tricking off instead of spending money on the thing that's going to add the most value into our life. You can have any car you want after you get this $8.5 trillion valuation. You can have anything you want. How you think I bought my 911? How you think I bought my 911? Stock club, we talked about it. As soon as that junk hit, what did we do? We adjusted our risk. We made sure that we reinvested back into the company. We pulled some of the profits out. We reallocated it towards other things, and we diversified our portfolio, and then we went and bought the 911. Because every dollar is an employee. I say I invest 95% of everything that I make. Why? Because I need that money deployed to go and bring me back more money. The money is my hoe. I work for that. It works for me, and then we buy our toys off of that. I'm not going to work for the car. I'm going to let my profits drive it. I'm going to let my profits drive it. I'm not going to work for that. I'm going to let my profits drive it. Same thing with real estate. But we study. Listen. The bad chasers study. We study. We work together. All of this talking shit and this fluff that we got out here for the regular people, that's just cute. When it comes to the Patreon, we different. We different. We put our money, we allocate our money differently. And we long-term investors. We make long-term plays. We don't care about the ups and the downs and all of that. We looking at it long-term. All right? So when you think about this Elon Musk $1 trillion valuation, don't pay so much attention to the headlines. Pay more attention to the context. The context is what's going to get you rich. The headlines is attention grabbing because it just forces people to complain. Nobody should be a billionaire. Guess what? You got just as much opportunity to invest as me. But you know what you're going to do? You're going to waste your time. You're not going to invest. You're going to trick it off on a hoe. And then you're going to tell me that I got to pay more taxes to make sure that you subsidizing your living situation. That's why Republicans or conservatives are absolutely disgusted with what we see with Democrats. Is because we all get the same 24 hours. We all get the same life choices. You choose to go spend your time getting somebody pregnant so that they can get on government benefits. I choose to spend my time being informed, studying the markets, making smart decisions and wise choices and lowering my income so that I can live my life the way I want to for the rest of my life. And then you'll sit there and tell me that I'm disconnected from what's going on in society nowadays. No, I'm just informed and I'm smarter with how it is that I allocate my resources. And now you want to take my money to make you feel better about your badass choices. That is the difference between Republicans and Democrats, or Republicans or conservatives and liberals. I spent my time studying. You spent your time partying. Now you is fucked up, and now you want to take my money to make you feel better about you making bad life choices because you feel as though the system is against you. No, the system works. The system works. We all just don't want to be accountable for our choices anymore. That is the difference between Republicans and Democrats. The system works. They just want to punish the people that went to study now. Imagine somebody coming to you and they say, hey, listen, you got good grades, right? Yeah, I got good grades. I got a 4.0, nigga. I got a 4.1. I got A pluses, not just A's. I got A pluses. All right, listen. Rhonda over there, she wasn't so lucky. What do you mean lucky? I went to class. Rhonda didn't go to class. I studied. Rhonda didn't study. I turned in my homework. Rhonda didn't turn in her homework. I went and talked to the TA. Rhonda never talked to the TA. I went and I did the group studies and I joined and I spent my nights and my weekends instead of partying. I was grinding and I was hustling. Rhonda didn't do that. We both went to the same school. And so now I got a 4.1 and she got a 1.7. Yeah, I know. But listen, the system is set up against Rhonda. Yeah, but we both came from the same neighborhood. I know, but you one of the lucky ones. This is what they tell me. I'm breaking it down for you. But you one of the lucky ones. You slip through the cracks, and so them white folks over there, they let you come in, and so you gonna have to make sure that you start to give a little bit more, and so we're gonna tax you 1-2% more every single year, so that we can make sure that Rhonda is taken care of. This is the system in a nutshell. No, I should be able to do what I no. Listen. We're making a decision for you. Nobody should be as successful as you. Nobody should be as successful as you. Nobody should reach this level of success. That's demonic. If you reach that level of success, that's demonic. Fuck what you had to do. Fuck the sacrifice that you had to get. Nobody should reach that level of success. We got people that's starving out here. Yeah, but what do you mean? She knew she was about to have a kid out of wedlock. She didn't have to bust it down for a real one. I exercise dick discipline. Yeah, but listen. They here now. They here now. So we got to make sure that we feed them. Yeah, but why should I give them that? Well, if I'm going to feed them, then they can't have sugar. And why would we feed them pop? Because, listen, my studies showed me that we shouldn't give them pop if they want to get a bottle of water. Oh, so wait a minute. So you're going to start regulating what they can do with your money when we take it from you? No, I'm just saying. Why would we give them processed foods and sugary drinks and cake and processed stuff when we should just give them the stuff that allow for them to get real nutrition so they can focus in school and they wouldn't crash the fuck out and they could pay attention to their teacher. You know what? You're doing too much. You're just doing way too much. Yeah, but but listen, I seen him over there and he's selling her food stamps at the store and they about to go on vacation. I work my ass off every day and I don't even really get to go out like that. Why should I continue to allow for, well, at least do an audit and kick the people off that's not supposed to be there? So now you the audit police, right? This is what, listen. This is what's happening in the culture and in society today. People always say, well, why do you care? Because I pay an egregious amount in taxes for shit that I don't get to use. That I don't get to use. Because I'm being taken advantage of. I'm back. They thought that they was going to censor me, but I'm back. Not this time. Not this time. I'm back. But my point is that the system is set up to where they basically robbing you so that they can make sure everybody else is taken care of. And that's not right. That's not fair. It's not right. It's never been right. It's never been. And so if I don't break it down in a simple way that allows for you guys to really be able to understand what we're talking about, then we just gonna continue to get taken advantage of. And it's not right, because then they say majority rules, right? The majority of the people get to determine exactly what. Let me tell you what else they do. This is what they also do. They say, well, the majority of the people voted, but the majority of the people made bad decisions. The majority of the people made bad decisions. So why should they get to determine what I get to do with my money? Because most people make a bad decision. You know, the only hope that we have as people that do the right thing, the only hope that we have as people that do the right thing is that we know. Let me tell you what we bank on. We know that you guys are not going to value the fact that you have the opportunity to vote. You're going to have a low voter turnout rate. That's the only thing that saves us. It's the only thing that saves us, is that we know that you're uneducated, you're ignorant, and that you're not going to actually do the thing that's in your best interest, and you don't honor your ancestors. So we know that you're only going to have less than a 20% voter turnout rate. So we banking on that. We banking on it. And it happens every time. Happens every single time. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read some of these super chats. Maybe we'll cover one more thing. Blair, what up, Blair? I appreciate you for the super sticker. Bowinkle says, hypothetically speaking, if you became single and decided to be remarried, Would you look for a woman who is a virgin, never been married, and have no children? Well, number one, I'm never taking care of another man's child. Okay? I'm never taking care of another man's child. Number two, I'm realistic. Okay? If you just want to ask a question, it's your super chat, so I'm going to answer it because you paid $20 and I want to acknowledge you. Number two, I'm realistic in that I'm 43. I don't believe in large age gap relationships. So the chance of you having a virgin is slim to none. It's slim to none. So no, I don't expect for her to be a virgin. As far as her never being married, no, I'm not necessarily expecting that either. So the only thing is that I'm not taking care of another man's kids. I'm not taking care of another man's kids. I'm not. I don't want no 20-year-old. I don't want no 21-year-old. I don't want no 22-year-old. And I'm not taking care of another man's kids. So based off of your criteria, that's what I would expect. All right. Nicholas Henry says, isn't stock options reserved for C-suite positions? No, it is not. Nope. Absolutely not. That is the biggest myth ever. The biggest myth ever. It is not reserved for C-suite at all. DP says some crypto is based off of milestone completions. That's true. The same thing in project management. Facts, especially in IT. Business is business regardless of the industry. Treat and structure your life as such. Stop selling your time for nothing. Invest, invest, invest. Yeah. Shout out to DP. I appreciate you for the 50 ball. And Rhonda's selling her food stamps. Facts. TS Car Wash Detail Service, so they take from the rich. The people that are the millionaires and billionaires in New York pay more than 50% of all of the taxes. What happens when they leave? DP says if you have an HSA, you can invest the funds once it hits your threshold. Mine was $2,000. If you have the option for HSA, use it and take that triple tax advantage. Stop making goofy moves and invest in yourself, leverage them assets. Well, here's the thing, DP, and I appreciate you for the 50 ball. I appreciate you for the 100 ball. Here's the thing. In order for them to do it, they have to start lowering their lifestyle and stop spending up to how much they make. The only time that you can invest in yourself is if you're not wasting all of the income on things that's not adding value into your life. Anton, what if the girl is a widow with kids? I'm going to pray for her. I'm going to pray for her. And I know that's not her fault. I don't want to take, I just can't. I can't. And I don't have nothing against her. I just think that everybody has preferences. I'm not looking to take care of anybody's kids but my own. I just can't do it, baby. Safari the Poet, I can't do it. Courtney Egger says, I'm running up a bag in my stocks. Pay attention to the pay packages, especially with companies like Tesla and Amazon. Facts. 100%. 100%. Let me see what else is going on in these streets. I don't want to go into Mike Johnson. October layoffs. Let's go into this. This is an interesting one. This is different. I'm going to do this one.
And aging into debt-free home ownership. More than 40% of homeowners now own their homes outright. That is the highest share ever recorded. And the number is only growing, and it's making young people hate you. Get out, sell your house, downgrade, so there's more inventory. So you
Listen. Let's say 40% of homeowners are mortgage free. You know what that said? You know what that means? Y'all want to know what that really means? I could tell you what it means. It means that everybody ain't broke like you think that they are. Everybody ain't broke. Y'all look at me because I'm an outward personality and I share my receipts and I show what it is that I got going on. And y'all say, well, no, that's an anomaly. That's not something that really happens. And I would tell you that you's a liar and the truth ain't in you. Almost half of Americans, almost half of these homes out here is paid for. Listen to what I'm saying. More than half of these homes out here is paid for. That means that it's a lot of people that don't have mortgages. Oh, so wait a minute. They only market it to certain groups of people. They only market it to certain groups of people. When you see these people, some of these people is out here living life and having a good time, and you say, man, how come everybody ain't, like, why they ain't say nothing? How come we just now finding out that 40% of all of the homes is actually paid for? Because they don't want you villainizing them, and they don't want you to think, they don't want you to be out here feeling some type of way about them because they out here and they not making smart decisions. And let me tell you what else they do. First of all, let me tell you, it's a couple different types of people. The first type of person is a person that's trying to make sure that their home is paid off before they retire, because then that means that all of their income is not going towards housing; it's actually going towards the things that they want to do, so that they're not tripping in retirement. All right, so that's the first thing. The second thing a lot of them do is they let their children stay there until their children save up to get the home that they want. You're not hearing me. You're not hearing me. The reason why you should always say generational wealth is not to pass it on to the children. It's to make sure that the children learn from you and that they have the opportunity to do the same thing. Some of y'all are moving out the house too early. Stop kicking your kids out and start giving them financial lessons. Some of y'all are moving out the house too early. You're not practicing group economics. And let me tell you what else they do. They don't sell their home and upgrade. They don't sell their home and upgrade. They don't feel like they need to buy a bigger home just because they got all of this equity or any of that type of stuff. They don't look at homes as an investment. They look at their home as a place to lay their head safely. They're looking at their home as a place to lay their head safely. They're not trying to pull the equity out of their house. For what? What is that going to do for them?
Young people can actually have a home to buy.
So you think the problem is maybe that is why there's so few people. I can't tell you how many school districts in Long Island have tons of people, but they're running out of students. And they're shrinking and they're condensing on schools, because I asked, why is that? The traffic's never been worse. The people are here. It's a desirable location. And they say because people are choosing not to go to Florida, not to move out. They're choosing to stick around. And then that causes a glut. Prices stay high. And therefore, students come out and they go to University of North Carolina, let's say, and they're not coming home. They stick out. So I don't know if I blame people for owning their house and staying here. I think we need a new game plan.
I'm just being ugly.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, no, I know.
A little ugly, but it is a huge problem, and I am expressing and jump ball at how younger people feel.
Yeah. Don't we need more houses? Let's start building.
You can talk about building,
think so.
but where? You're not going to build where. In your area, where are they going to build? You got to rip something down if you want to put up something new. People want to live, say, Garden City, if you're talking about Long Island, and it requires people to move out of existing homes.
Part of the reason they're not moving out of their existing homes, though, and I hear this from people so many times, is, well, where am I going to go? And there are many places that you could go, but prices are so high that even if you get, a pretty penny for your house, which has appreciated, and you own it outright, and you don't necessarily have to get a mortgage, you're still going to be paying a high dollar to trade for something else. And ultimately, that's why people decide, I'm just going to stay put.
By the way, I have 3
properties, and before I was even making TV money, the kind that this guy grew up with.
with TV
Wait,
money?
what kind of TV money are you making that you've got three properties?
TV repair money.
When I say three properties, I'm not talking mansions here, but the point is that I sold off my mortgage as soon as I possibly could. And I was influenced dramatically by the 2008-2009 financial crisis because of the fact that I realized that there were a lot of bankers in this world making a lot of money, even on the bad loans. And that I wasn't making the money and other homeowners weren't making money. And even the people that were getting these BS loans weren't making, because eventually they had their homes taken over. And I just realized, look, should I be giving the bank that money, or should I be taking up? There's a reason why banks are making money with more.
But when I say it, I'm crazy. When I say it, I'm crazy. When I say get rid of the mortgage, throw everything you have into getting rid of the debt, I'm crazy. But when he say it, it makes sense though, right? I've been saying this for years. Hey, Anton, you need to finance. You can expand faster. No, I'm comfortable. My life is good. I move how I want to move. If I'm going to do it, then I'm going to just do it without a bank. Why should I continue to give the banks money? Why should I continue to give the banks money? The whole point of the conversation is, why am I giving them money? I'm giving the bank free money longer than I have to. Why do I give the bank free money? I don't care if you sell off your home, or I don't care if you pay off your home. Either way, if you are holding on to a mortgage longer than you have to, you're giving away free money. I don't care what kind of new math you try to make it make sense on. I don't care what kind of interest rate that you have. You are giving the bank free money. Stop justifying it by saying, well, I only got a 3% interest rate. You're still giving the bank free money. What about a 0% interest rate? What about zero? Zero. What about zero? I don't want to give them nothing. I don't care if it's 1%. I'm not giving them anything. Nothing. Zero. Nada. I'm not giving them nothing. Now, they don't call me crazy, but that's cool. I'm cool with that.
Mortgages.
Crazy as a fox.
It had more to do with making sure that I scrapped all my savings together in order to pay off those mortgages than anything else. And I think a lot of people
paid off his mortgages. He got rid of the mortgages. He did whatever he had to do to get rid of the mortgage.
In my position, and yes, I'm a boomer. Shoot me if you want.
But different situation than now, because I have a 2.5% mortgage. I'm not paying it off till year 29 and day 364.
2.5% mortgage. Wow.
I'm not the only one who has them. We got them. We had them during COVID.
But you're not going to get rid of something like that.
No, that's
even
free
if
money.
you have again, my mortgages were taken. First property I bought was a little apartment in Manhattan, which you had to buy with cash at that time. And so I bought that with cash. Then I had two mortgages. I paid them off when mortgages were still cheap, because I realized that as cheap as mortgages were back then, bankers were making a hell of a lot more money than most of us, and they were making the money by offering mortgages. So I figured, I'll just keep the money to myself.
Tom said it best, I think, last hour.
And that's how we're able to invest in the things that we invest in, is because I don't have the same carrying costs as everybody else. So whereas you say, well, what kind of extra money did I have? And I'm saying, well, all of my money goes to investments because I don't have anything else. Do you know? Okay, remove the money aside, y'all. Do you know how and why I live such a phenomenal life? No matter what amount of money is, even if it's just 5% of whatever it is that I take in. Because I don't have regular expenses like everybody else. And so I can allocate my money to investing and doing whatever I want to do because I don't have the same costs. I refuse to jump into a high interest credit card and be paying interest on that bitch. I refuse to be giving some money to the student loan companies. I refuse to do A, B, and C. I'm not giving you nothing. Everything is coming to me. I'd rather reinvest in myself than give it to the bank. I'd rather reinvest in myself than give it to the bank, bro. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I got to figure out a different way. I'll stay home for the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. I'll practice group economics. I'll lower my lifestyle. I'll drive a cheaper car. But see, most people are more concerned with how people see them and whether or not people think that they got money than actually having money. I laugh every day at people that laughed at me for making smart financial decisions and lowering my income. People were literally almost every week I would get somebody in my real life that was trying to push me away from living where I was living, and I was doing well. And I was living for free. Yeah, but you a millionaire, man. But you a millionaire, ain't you? And why do I have to move? I ain't doing nothing. I'm not going nowhere. I'm chilling. My daughter don't know no better. She happy. Everybody seem like they cool. We in a good financial space. I'm continuing to put money into new stuff. I can invest in a new property instead of continuing to buy something else. Why would I do this? And I would ask people, okay, sell me on it. Tell me why it makes sense. Man, don't you want this big? Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Get out of here, man. I'm not doing it for you. I'm chilling. I'm having a good time. Enjoying my life. I'm about to sweep up this basement and chill. Wasting time. Then when it's just egregious, then we gonna start playing around. Then we gonna start having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. It's been a fun show. We got the Q show tonight, and it's gonna be popping. It's gonna be popping. We got the Q show tonight. It's gonna be popping. Yeah, it's gonna be up. It's up from here. We got the Q show tonight. Millionaire Morning Show tomorrow. Patreon live stream tomorrow. After hours tomorrow. All right. Love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna see y'all tonight. Peace. Why is it saying yo pay this software is wonky. I can't even. I'm gonna try to end the broadcast, y'all. Give me a second. Why is it still saying go live?